Before you hear anything, I want to dedicate this episode to Jorden Burleson, a former shipmate of mine. I'm not sure that we were on a ship for too long, but I remember him checking in, us having some conversations, and I think I checked out, pretty soon after. I'm gonna read a post from another shipmate of mine who was there with him for longer. Right. So it says, "Our world is wicked, unforgiving, inconsiderate, and at times simply awful. This is why it's important to not be of this world. What happened to our shipmate should not be possible. His heart was huge, loving and spirited, and what the majority of us will miss most is the smile he kept on your face when he was around. Jorden Burleson, you will be missed. Rest easy, little brother, Burley." And that's from a brother of mine, Corey Barfield. So shout out to Jorden Burleson. Prayers, well wishes for his family, his shipmates, his extended family, his Navy family, and everybody else. That's all I know, no specifics, but I did want to take some time and dedicate this episode to him.
I don't hear myself through my headphones. Yes, man. I feel real good about this right now.
Pay attention, because you are now listening to Permission to Speak Freely.
Yo, I don't know if this episode going to be on YouTube or what, but I don't know if you can see it, Tish, but my shirt, it says, let me ask my wife, right? Right. And I tell you, man, I almost sometimes I feel disowned by my mom when I say I gotta ask my wife something. My mom raised a strong, independent man, right? So sometimes, something happens, somebody's like, yeah, such and such said they coming to the house. Yeah. Let me make sure I run that past Angeline. You know what I mean? Sometimes I feel like my mom be feeling like, yo, this is not the son that I raised. You don't have to run everything. I'm like, yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got this my wife, man. You know what I mean?
Everything. Let me ask my wife.
I think my mom be so disappointed in me now, man. She like I used to call shots, man. My son used to call shots, man. Now he gotta ask this lady everything, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I bet it only got worse when Amari came along.
For me, so Angeline is just, she kind of crazy when it comes to Amari. We went on a trip this week, last weekend, right? That's why we ain't record the pod. For the listeners, we supposed to do a pod last week, but we wound up not doing it because I went on a trip and I was just too tired. It's like a little small road trip, 3-hour drive, right? In order to get there, it took us probably 4 hours. In order to get home, 3 hours, right? But it's like a 3-hour drive. And so me, I'm like, yo, the hub is the car. Let's just put whatever of hers that she needs in the car. We gonna be good. The car gonna have AC. My sister, she came in a van and that's how it was like a family little thing. I'm like, we good to go. Angeline, man, she got on Amazon and she was shopping like we were going to the Amazon. like you would think we was climbing Mount Everest, man. You know what I mean? It was 20 boxes. I told one of my sisters, I said, all of those boxes at the front door are for tomorrow's trip. My sister was like, for real? I was like, yeah, we got a lot of, not we. Let me take that away. She got a lot of stuff. I don't even know if all that stuff got open. She called me. Before the trip, she's deliberating on her mind if we could do. And mind you, this is a 3-hour trip, man. She deliberating on her mind if we could do this. She called me. I'm like, yo, babe, we gonna be all right. I'm like, let's say even if we go to the middle, I know she yeah, we need to have 2 bags, 2. I'm like, man, yo, she had Amari had outfits for outfit changes. I'm like, yo, we're going 3 hours away to Chesapeake, Virginia, man. We gonna be straight.
And it was Chesapeake.
Y'all, we going to Chesapeake.
I thought y'all was going camping.
We going to Chesapeake to a place, a building, man. I'm like, yo, we gonna be good, man. Worst part about it, the DJ was playing the music kind of loud, but that's it. Hey, real quick, right? I want to give a disclaimer to the listeners. And I told Tish this earlier in the week. So I called Tish earlier in the week. We were supposed to, Tish dropped the ball on something. So, I wanted to talk to her about it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that ain't
really?
That ain't happening.
Really?
But I called Tish, right? And I was telling Tish I missed her. Man, when we go these weeks without podding, we miss y'all. We miss each other. So everybody's missed. So that's the reason why I'm starting with that disclaimer, because we got Navy topics. We got some military topics. We got a lot of topics. But we just going to be talking for a little bit, y'all, because we miss each other. Yeah. We miss y'all. We hope y'all miss us. Damon is missed. He's not here. You know what I mean? But
I know.
we got some things that we need to talk about. And then Damon, he got to get his mic fixed before he come back, man. I'm going to have to have a conversation. I know y'all heard that audio. I tried my best, man. I'm going to have to have a conversation with Damon. He got to get that mic fixed, man. That ain't, nobody should be subjected to what Damon putting y'all through, man.
He got that great value audio.
It's bad, yo. It's real bad. Another thing I can't do anything else before I do is I gotta shout out Denise. We gotta shout Denise out. We just added Denise as our admin, and Denise got us booked and busy. So we might not be missing. Yeah, we might not be missing too many more weeks. Just because Denise been reaching out, and that's a lot of the people that we've been trying to get on, and the people that we've been talking to. That just, just too much going on for us to accurately schedule and put things together. So Tish been driving this calendar, and Denise got us booked now. So we got some, episode. Actually, I talk to Denise pretty often, behind the scenes, Tish, you know what I'm saying? Me and Denise.
That's good.
To make sure that we doing everything right.
And
she understands the amount of passion I got toward like this being the right thing. But she got us booked. She got us booked up, y'all. So definitely be on the lookout for a lot more guests. A couple guests that we've been kind of knowing for a while and waiting to get on here. And a couple guests that we had on here before. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And if anybody looking at us like now, that's where we kind of start engaging a little bit, Tish. Well, before that, a shout out to the listeners, right? So shout out to the Monday morning drive to work listeners, because that's what we got. So for somebody, It's Monday right now. You on your way in. You just turned the pod on. Shout out to you. We love you. We love your listening style. That's probably how I would listen if I was just only strictly a listener. Shout out to whoever got us on in the gym, on a bike. I'm gonna get into that about myself in a second. Shout out to whoever listening to us on a duty day. As long as you're not on watch, you know what I mean? Do your thing. As long as you ain't on watch, do your thing. And whoever's sneaking, in they office in between, like time they got some work going on, that's checking us out. Shout out to a lot of y'all. It's good to see some of y'all when I do see y'all outside. Some of y'all, I know y'all listen to the pod, and I don't say nothing to y'all when I see y'all outside. Like I just talk to y'all like. And like just normal. Like I don't even bring it up, but I know from other channels that y'all do listen. So shout out. I told y'all about the one time where I called somebody because I needed help. And I looked at his name and he like listened to the pod. I'm like, yo, this dude be listening to the pod. Me and him been in contact some other times now. So people that want to send us gifts. It's crazy. Like people hit us up did y'all ever get back, man? Like somebody want to send us a gift. Like, but
I did.
For real?
Well, I got back. I responded back to you, yeah.
Oh, shit. All right. Well, they probably listening. Look, I'm going to get back at you, man. If I don't, hit me up, because I might have, so much stuff happened, man. That's why we got Denise now. I might have got lost in the sauce. But shout out to people that sent Amari stuff for the baby shower. People getting books that got recommended. It's a lot of love, man. We appreciate it, especially now with us kind of falling back on social media just because of time. Like it ain't enough time. So to still feel that love is crazy, man. And we love y'all. I love our listeners. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Can't speak for Tish. But I love
definitely.
Y'all. You know what I mean? But speaking on social media, people used to ask me, hey, so what about, like, what do you, like, how did it go? Oh, like, you podcasting, but how do you, like, lead in the real world, and what happens in the real world? And, there's be a lot of real world stuff. The real world shit is like, all right, we might have to not pod. We might have to, not do social media. We working. Like I'm working. I'm doing my job. You know what I mean? I'm out.
Right.
I'm out like I say I'm out. You know what I mean? And we gain an experience so we could come back on here and talk. That's what the real world looked like. It looked like shutting down the mics. Hey, we can't do this week. I'm tired as hell. I've been working all week. That's what it looked like. You know what I mean? Like we not living here. This is secondary to, whatever we got going on in the Navy in our life, because that's kind of what breeds this anyway. So anybody that was asking, now y'all kind of know. You know what I mean? When I'm at a command where, or a place where I'm not like I'm not pulled as much, then we'll see more. I'll have more time. But right now, between Amari and my job and life, marriage, all this stuff, on Fridays, we've been going on a little date stroll, Tish, on Friday night.
Oh, snap. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What y'all be doing?
So
like y'all just walk around the neighborhood or go to the park?
What you
like a real stroll, or y'all like go on actual
neighborhood of the park?
Yeah,
listen, man. I know our listeners already know I'm better than that. You know what I mean?
Like, you gotta do something extra.
I know y'all know I'm a little flyer than that, man. The neighborhood, the stroll through. What I look like walking through the neighborhood, man?
David be walking through the neighborhood.
That's Damon, dog. That ain't me. That's David ass. He gotta walk through the neighborhood, man. Like, that's his exercise. You shout out to Ella too. Ella listening. Love you, Ella.
Yeah.
So Damon, no, not Damon, me. So Amari, where she go to daycare at, and these dumbasses, they raised the price, $250. And I want to put y'all on my do better, but I got respect for y'all, so I'm not going to do that. But y'all could have done that before we got the childcare aware supplemental money. Like y'all waited, and y'all know just to get a military benefit, you got to go to hell and back. Like it took us like 4 months to get this supplemental benefit, and then as soon as we do it, y'all raised her daycare fee $250. Like imagine how much it is if it got raised $250. It's crazy. Like it costs so much to send her to daycare. But so she go to daycare in like a nice place, bougie, like the Wharf in DC, right? So it's like, what's out there? Like it's 2 Gordon Ramsay restaurants out there, Hell's Kitchen, and he got a fish and chip spot out there. It's a couple. It's like some high end restaurants out there. I don't want to promote them all, right? But I did want some crab legs from Philippe. Philippe's is out there, Philippe Child, right? And I wanted these crab. I'm like, I'm like on a humbug, like I'm gonna just grab. I looked at the menu, them crab legs was $99, man. I said, I ain't gonna do it.
Nah.
But basically, so she go to daycare out there, real nice area in DC, the Wharf. So we pick her up on Fridays. It's starting to be a thing, unless it can't be. It couldn't be this Friday. I'm gonna get into why in a minute. But and then when we pick her up, if we both get off at a decent time, we get her and we stroll the Wharf. We walk the Wharf. We go somewhere different. It's the summer, and we found a really cool. It's a bar there that it's like a tequila bar, but they got an extension on the summer where they on one of the little piers they put out a little truck that served frozen pina coladas and strawberry daiquiris, and the dude make them pretty healthy. You know what I mean? Like, pretty good. So like
heavy-handed.
Yeah. The heavy pour. So I grab. We normally sit and I grab one of them. Angeline might get a little smidgen of it or whatever, and we talk, have fun, and then just do different stuff on the pier. People watch, kid watch, stuff like that. So, and we've been doing we've been kind of making that like a thing, and hopefully it blossoms, to become more of a thing. So that's what we've been up to.
Nice.
Really. Yeah.
That's what's up.
What about you, Tish? What about you? You dating anything? That ain't, you got anything on? Is that a setup?
Yeah.
That I trapped
that was a straight up trap.
You kind of did it. You set it up.
Straight up trap.
Well, maybe.
I've been working.
Yeah.
I've been working, and exploring the option. I'm exploring the option.
Yeah, I see where she's going. So I'm gonna jump right back in. I try to pull you in. I'm gonna jump right back in real quick.
You're trying to pull me in, Abby.
Speaking of working, right? And this for the listener, I haven't said much about my job, right? And I haven't said much about my job for a lot of reasons, because the privacy part of it and stuff like that, right? But what I do want to say about my job is this yesterday, I did go to a game, right? The Bowie Bay Sox. I went to the Bowie Bay. It was Navy night for the Bowie Bay Sox. I work at Naval Support Activity Annapolis, right? That's where I work, right? I'm a senior enlisted leader of the base, right? And all right, that's all I'm gonna say about that. So I'm the senior enlisted leader of the base, And one of my sailors got to throw one of the ceremonial pitches yesterday, right? So the offer was for the captain, but the captain shoulder hurt. So who do they go to next? They go to me. But like my knee, I use my knee as an excuse, but really I'm not about to get out there and pitch, right? I've seen people like, I watched Jay-Z like dive off a boat, man, and I lost a little bit of respect for him, man. You know what I mean? Like,
So yeah, it was about to be you.
seen people that I thought was cool do athletic stuff like on a public scale, and it made me lose love and respect for him. So I was like, no, let's give it to one of my sailors. So we give it to my Blue Jacket of the Year. So my Blue Jacket of the Year got out there. Yeah, I was able to get a video. It's funny because I wanted to get closer. You know, they was acting like, they was treating me like I was some crazy like fan. Like, I'm looking for this guy. Oh, he's not here. The one lady asked me like, did you get tickets? Do you have tickets? Like, yeah, like, of course I got tickets. Like, I was supposed to be, I was the one supposed to be. Like, who do you think?
Listen, they don't care about what you were supposed to do.
Do you know who my father is? Do you know who my CO is? I'll have your ass. Like, but long story short, I didn't throw it, and we let our sailor get out there. He threw the pitch, but I just wanted him to know I was there. You know what I mean? Like, how like the parent, and I couldn't get to him so he can know I'm there. Now, I'm not as he a grown ass man, but I couldn't get to him so he can know I was there. But I was there, and I got on video, so I'm gonna run into him and like next week when I see him and say, hey, I was there, I saw you, but they would not let me cut through them lines like that. Minor league baseball ain't no joke. You know what I mean? Like, they got that thing. So, but.
Well, there's been people like running out on the field naked and stuff. That's probably...
Yeah, they thought I was about... They like, this dude with all this Navy stuff, he about to go crazy out here. Because I had the Navy. Are you a vet? No, I'm active duty. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
But at my job, right? So the thing about my job is I was stationed there before as a junior sailor. So I was a second class there. I was a first class there. I met my wife there. I lost 90 pounds there. Like, a lot of life, I got my college degree there. So a lot of life happened for me at my command. So it's crazy to be back stationed somewhere that like a lot of life happened for me at. Like a big maturation for me was at the command I'm at. So like some of the people at Fleet and Family Services and some of the civilians that was there when I was there, like 10 years ago at this point, they're still there. So we still got a relationship. So some of my friends who live here that was stationed there with me, like they come and visit. Like, so if they come visit, it's like, yo, let's go shoot through Fleet and Family. Remember this person, remember this person. So it's like, I'm bringing back like blasts from the past, but I also got like that viewpoint from like the ground level. Cause I was there. Now, mind you, it was 10 years ago and a lot changed, but I was there before. Right. So I have that like kind of like credibility as far as in my brain, right? I got that credibility of being there before. Like I've been through that before. You know what I mean? The only difference is I work with the MAs now because I'm base, whereas I used to work, as an engineer, like doing my job as an electrician and stuff like that. But it feels very good. It's like a love story kind of thing, with that command. Like no bullshit, no lie. Like I'm really super happy to be there and appreciative of the opportunity. You know what I mean? So that's it. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, Tish. That's all. That's cool. And I don't find things though.
It's like full circle.
Yeah, I like finding things to hate. I don't like finding things to love. You know what I mean? And I love. So I stand in front of them people. When I talk to people, I stand in front of these people. I'm like, yo, I love this space. I love this Fleet and Family. I love this. And I think sometimes they, hey, this dude good. And then when I kind of break it down, like, this happened to me here. This happened to me here. I met my wife here. And they like, oh man, this dude, he must really do.
He really do love.
Like he was really do love this place, So, and doing a job, a lot of people ask me, about the job, right? Not going to get too deep into that. But what I will say is that it feels good to be able to touch so many different points of a command. From the junior sailors, and it's starting to happen, right? With the junior sailors, they probably have like already, but they starting to really see who I am, right? I'm seeing the conversations are changing and, I'm not just the guy in this job. You know what I mean? Like I can see it. Like, Now
Yeah.
some of them probably listen to the pod, so they already probably know some stuff about me, but I could see the comfortability, the communication, the openness, the transparent. I'm super transparent, so I'm seeing them transparent. It's a big deal there. The civilians, every because it's a base job. So Fleet and Family, MWR, the commissary, like every single the housing, the barracks. So every connection there with the civilians. Sellers at tenant commands, leadership at tenant. So everything is kind of, coming. It's a whole thing, Tish. It's like this whole, thing with all of these people still working it. And we still, of course, we got our departmental, like the encodes that we have, and my CEO and my deputy CEO. So it's a lot, it's a lot of connection, a lot of that. And I think the connection breeds, like the relationship, I think right now in the Navy today, I think the relationship breeds production and everything else, like trust, production, and pride in the job, and authenticity and communication, and all. Like I think everything starts with like building that relationship. So
the relationship,
So when I say like, yo, we working, that might be our motto. My motto right now is just care, right? Just care, and then care is an acronym and all that. But I ain't about to get into that right now. But it might just be we working, because we working, man. We building, we get yeah. So I like it. I like the job, Tish. I like it a lot, man. So
that's good. And speaking of jobs, I'm really starting to fall into place with my job too. Like just like the mission of it, I guess, is very different than the military. The structure is very different. So it took a little bit to get used to it. I had to really recognize that it's a young organization. Like we just got our first fraternization policy like 3 weeks ago or something like that, a month ago. So it's very fresh, but this past week I got to go on a border tour. Some of the agents kind of took a group of us in between the walls and kind of showed us, all the different areas, and like some of the stuff that we had seen on the news. I was able to go in those places, and they were like, oh yeah, remember when, blah, blah, blah. We had the influx of people that were all bum rushing the agents. Like, this is where it was, the people. I work for Border Patrol. So it was back when, I think it was COVID time frame. So I was able to go there. I saw the Trump wall.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. So I went and saw that, and the difference between the old wall and the new wall, and the infrastructure changes that they've had over the years. And then it was crazy because there's two different, there's a primary wall and a secondary wall, and there's space in between it. Mm-hmm. So we went in between the wall, and it was crazy because as soon as we went through the gate or whatever, there was migrants right there. Mm-hmm. It was crazy. And so I could also look on the other side of and they were in between the fences, and I was able to look on the other side of the primary fence, and I saw them camping out, just ready. Yeah. So that was pretty crazy to see. Especially I work on the cases and everything, and I read the narrative. And so to be out there and kind of putting actual visualizations to the things that I'm reading, it was, it is completely different from the Navy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm learning a lot. Sometimes I'm reading these cases. I'm like, what are they talking about? I feel like I have an agent that sits right beside me, and I'm like, what does this mean? When they say this in the narrative, what does that mean? So yeah, it's pretty dope though. The intelligence, and they're growing a lot. They're starting to get into what is it, AI? I was about to say IA, but they're starting to get into AI, the technology, hiring like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So anybody looking to, get out and you're looking for a job, check that Border Patrol or Department of Homeland Security. It's hard to get in because they mostly hire from within, but when they do open that gate, just get in there. But yeah,
No pun intended,
it's pretty dope. Just get right.
No pun intended, right? It's hard to get in, but when they do open the gate,
no pun intended. But yeah, it's dope though. I like it. I'm still trying to work with, you know, the structure of like, you know.
You just gotta get the Navy out your head, Tish. That's all.
I do.
You gotta get that military
I do.
Out your head.
And I'm that person that be sitting in the office talking about the Navy.
Talking shit about the Navy?
No.
Oh, like
no. Yeah, like some old back in my day time. I probably sound like 50 when I'm up in there.
I was telling Angeline, I'm like, yo, Tish she loved it, yo. You love it. You loved it. You got a lot of pride in the Navy.
I do.
But now you work for the Department of Homeland Security. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
It ain't gonna be the Navy.
I be trying to let it go. I'm telling you, I spend so much time like they call me the Princess Warrior.
For real?
In the office. They call me the Princess Warrior. Yeah.
You keep a weapon? You got a weapon?
No, I don't. Nuh-uh. But the person right next to me does.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, like, you're going through gates and gates and gates. You ain't got a weapon.
Listen, the agents did. Yeah. I did not.
Was it like a protocol? Like, yo, something happened, duck under here?
Listen, I was looking too. I was like, I had on like some tennis shoes. I was ready. I was like, just in case I need to tackle somebody, I'm ready.
They got to protect you.
While I'm out there.
Yeah, they got to tackle you down to keep you safe.
Right.
That's crazy.
This crazy ass vet out here thinking she's Joe Navy out
she
here.
In a fight. She's like, what'd you do? I was like, I letting get your ass on the ground, man.
Look, when you're a kid and you be holding somebody's forehead and they be swinging, that would have been me.
Somebody paid for my food the other day. He's like,
oh, really?
Yeah, we used to.
You had on uniform?
Yeah, I went to a restaurant. They paid. The dude was like, yeah, I was in such and such. We made these missiles. We used to practice on y'all with these, but I'm like, I was an electrician, man. I wasn't in the fight like you, dog. I'm gonna get into that later. Something did happen to me, Tish. I've been having this problem with my knee. So another thing about the command I'm at now is when I was there before, I injured myself, right? So that my first surgery. So I had got surgery on my right knee. I tore my MCL, my PCL, and my lateral meniscus, right? I was telling somebody on my job, I was like, yeah, the doctor told me, like, you're not an athlete. You're not a leader.
You're not a leader. You're not an athlete.
So the doctor told me, he was like, you're not an athlete. So, and the person looked and she's like, ooh. I was like, nah, it's not that bad. They just was saying that they wasn't going to reconstruct like most of the stuff that broke because I'm not
you don't need it.
Or doing like, I don't really need it.
Yeah.
So he also told me, he was like, eventually arthritis is going to, settle in those parts, stuff like that. So I already knew it was coming. What I didn't like about my mom going to be mad at me about this episode. But what I didn't like is that as soon as I got the surgery, my mom started talking to me like I was going to get arthritis the next day. You know what I mean? Yeah, so you got arthritis, so this is what you need to be doing. And the brain is going. I'm like, yo, I don't got arthritis yet. Now, me and who I am in life as a person, at that time, I was like 270. And because after the surgery, I had picked up some weight. I was already like 250. Then after surgery, I picked up 20 pounds because I couldn't work out. And the way they treated me, I think I talked about it on pod before, but the way I was treated when I would go to medical and stuff was just like I was just this big person that did not want to be in the Navy. They was talking about limb doing all that. So I wound up starting, I'll say like a running career, right? I wound up running, right? So I wound up losing 90 pounds at that command just so I could walk back in that medical and see, and get talked to a little different. Like, yo, talk to me nice, man. Like, the way y'all treating me. Like, I'm an EP sailor, guys. Like, this is like back in the day. Like, they was talking to me like I was like this person that just didn't care about the military at all. So I wound up losing 90 pounds, but that all came from running. So I fell in love with running. Like, I just fell in love with it. So even when I was talking to I ain't say yet. Did I say yet? Oh, well, I got arthritis, right? So I got arthritis in my right knee. And as she said, it's bordering moderate. And she saw some stuff in an x-ray from like last year on my left knee. So I took another x-ray this year and they gave me some, she started talking to me about my options. She was like, yo, if you one of those people that like running his life, she was like, it's on you. If running his life, then running his life is on you. I gave her that look like, yeah, running his life. Like I do. So I love to run. It's just one of my favorite things to do, no matter like, and I know like when I'm at a heavier weight, it's probably worse, on my knee.
Mm-hmm.
So the goal would be to get down to a lower weight. But she put a gel in me. They put like a gel in me to kind of, I guess, take up space or make up for some space or something like that. It's crazy when you really don't know what's in you. Like, yeah, I think it's like
like they put a
gel,
They put a gel in me. I'm like, what?
And it's supposed to do something. You know what I mean? But they say sitting here, both knees. That's like
we just be letting them do anything
like
to us.
The vaccine. I ain't gonna get into that.
Right.
Like, but,
it's like always fetal babies in there.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, she was like, well, if you good if you're not allergic to poultry. I was like, they about to put turkey in my knee. I'm about to get chicken in my knee. So then I was like, well, maybe it is cool to have turkey in my knee. Like maybe the turkey meat gonna like help. You know what I mean? So then she started talking to me before she inject me like this. She's like, this is what I need you to do. I need you to breathe in real hard and breathe out and don't focus on the needle. And I'm like, yo, if I wasn't focused on the needle, I'm
focused on
it. What I mean? Like, I thought all was well, She was like, a lot of people say it feels like a toothache. I was like, this is my knee. Like, I'm going to feel this in my toe. She was like, in your knee. So she hit me up. No, the second knee, that shit hurt. Like, I can't front. Like, it started burning. She's like, don't hold it stiff. I'm like, how do you not hold this motherfucking stiff?
Everything she's telling you to not do, you instantly want to do.
At first, it was relaxed. She was like, relax your knee. I was like, it's funny because I think it is relaxed. And then that shit starts shooting in and my shit tightened up. I'm trying to talk to this girl in the Air Force about her job. But so she hit both knees, long story short with that. And I got another injection coming soon where they, again, can't explain it too much. Don't know really what it is, but they supposed to be pulling some cells from somewhere that could be reproductive and it might help my knees. So I was like, eventually, am I going to have to get a knee replacement? I just want to know.
Good
for
question.
Expectation. And she was like, she was like, I mean, people could speak things into, she started sounding real gangster. I mean, people could speak things into existence. She is like, I wouldn't speak nothing into existence. I don't know about you. I was like, well, I ain't about to speak. If you put it like
I ain't gonna do that either.
I ain't gonna speak nothing into existence either. And then that was it. So I had a really good time. I was at Andrews, one of my favorite bases, honestly, to go to. But I was at Andrews at the hospital there. So shout out to them. My last take on that one, Tish, is thank God for insurance, man.
Yeah.
Thank God, because she come to me, right? And I was, as the conversation was happening, I was thinking about how civilians would receive this conversation, right? Because she come to me, she like, you got 3 options, right? She's like, it's 3 injections we could do. Well, of course, physical therapy. She was like, but we could do the cortisone injection. And I knew I wasn't going to say yes to cortisone. She was like, and then we got this gel one and the PRP gel, and me, it's like I'm at a buffet. I could just choose what the fuck. I could just choose what injection I want. Like, it's all free. Like, okay, yeah, and technically it's not free, but I ain't about to get on all that. But it's free to me, right, in my head.
Right.
So I'm like, well, can I do both injections, the gel one and the PRP? She was like, yeah, And I just can't imagine being a civilian and like really having to be like, well, how much is the gel one?
Right.
And then she's like, we could do one knee or both. I'm like, yo, hit up both knees. Like,
hit up both of them. I got 2 knees.
Yeah,
do 2 knees.
Do both of them. And then she also said, she's like, yeah, I need you to go do an x-ray. After this, do an x-ray on the left knee. Even when I went there in the beginning, because I went there for my right knee, but I had a knee sprain. I got the knee sprain in my left knee. So even when I went there and I was talking to the lady up front, she's like, what knee did you come for? Because she was confused. She's like, it say X-ray on the right knee. I'm like, yo, honestly, you could just do both. You know what I mean? It's just crazy being in the military and looking at healthcare like just
right,
like
free for all.
Yeah, like it's a potluck or some shit. And you just knock out both. And then when I came back to her, when I was like, told you they got me on the left knee now. So she hit the left knee. So and all this shit is like, I'm not worrying about going in my pockets, and it's just. Yeah, it's just crazy. So I want to thank God, and but I also want to thank the Navy for just us being able to just get all this stuff done to us for free. Yeah. It's crazy,
Yeah, it is, and especially when you get out and then you have the VA. Plus, I have VA and Tricare. You know what I'm saying? So I have two options. I actually declined the government plan, because I already got two options. Like, I got double coverage already. I don't need it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I have to pay for the Tricare one, but I mean, it touches nothing compared to what you would as a civilian, like as far as like the co-pays and stuff. And I mostly just use the VA, and all that is free. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to get them over the phone.
Yeah, my homegirl worked there, so we, and I got her slated for the pod, and now that we got the niece, we might actually get her on here. So
listen,
so not too, but like hold off on it, Tish.
Listen. That's my do better. Is the damn VA, but we'll get in that later. But yeah, like overall though, every now and then I'll complain, but for the most part, it's it's a blessing to have. Seriously. Yeah. And I mostly realize that when other people start talking, civilians, I work around a lot of civilians now. So when they start talking about their stuff, that's when I'll be like, oh, let me just sit in the corner and be quiet. This is not my conversation.
Yeah, I got like family members been struggling with like, this back issue. I'm like, okay, just go to medical, man.
Go to that.
Like, then I had to think about it like, oh, they can't just go to medical. That back is going to be messed up for life, man.
Right. And one other thing too that I took for granted while in, I can't say we, I know I took for granted while in, that unlimited sick leave. Listen, I ain't never seen so many people come in sick before in my life.
Oh, it's your new job?
Yeah, because they don't want to take off. They don't have the sick days, or they don't want to use their sick days. So they just be coming in coughing and shit. I'd be mad as hell like, yo, like go to medical, like stay at home. But there is no unlimited sick leave. So it's like, I only got like 42 hours of sick leave right now.
Yeah, see.
So it's a whole different ball game.
See, I was an engineer. I was an electrician. So they ain't in pre-COVID. You wasn't just leaving the ship. Like you covered it. You gotta do sick call on the ship. They about to give you what they didn't give a person who broke their foot. Same medicine. You know what I mean? And then you go back down. You saying everything but, yo, can I just leave? You saying everything but that. Like, yeah, right. They told me I got shortness of breath. I'm just repeatedly sweating. I take in water and I expel the water as soon as I take it in, But what you need me to do, EM1? Oh, well, since you that sick, you could just go up in the fan room by yourself and grind the deck, do all that. You know what I mean? It's like, damn, I tried to get out of here early. Or if you go to that appointment, hey, young sellers, hey, you go to that appointment, you ever go to that appointment, Tish, do you call your LPO after the appointment? It's like 13:30, the appointment over.
Yeah.
What you ask? Hey, what else we got going on?
Right, like, you need me to come back?
Yeah, like, what else we got going on? Like, I never said you need me to come. I always said it, yo, what else going on? Yo, I'm on my way. Hey, I'm on my way back. What else going on? So you can hear that, yo, you good. And then they be like, oh, yeah, we need you. Yeah, we need you back, man. The switchboards is like, damn, yo.
Right. And then you come back and it ain't nothing going on.
Don't nothing be going on.
It don't nothing.
Right before you get there, yo, they canceled the switchboard brief, man. But hey, just stand by because I think Chief got something to put out. So, the Chief come down 20 minutes later. Why y'all still here? Like,
right.
Y'all, like, I can't.
And you just look at them like,
I done came back here, I was about to go play the game. I remember them junior seller days, man. That was fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we about to get into like some Navy kind of like topics. Some of these topics Damon added. I don't know. Is it shady to go over topics that Damon added if Damon ain't around?
Listen, Damon ain't here.
Yeah, it's a group effort, right? So Damon
been out.
Yeah, yo, Damon he make an appearance every couple episodes, man. You know what I mean?
Right?
Damon almost
he back out.
on Damon almost on a podcast as much as Alana Abernathy, man. Like that. That's where we at now with it, man. You know what I mean? If Ashley do one more episode, she got more time in the last 3 months.
Seriously.
But
seriously.
Before we hit the military episodes, I'm not gonna do it, but I wanna take my hat off. I'm not gonna do it physically. Verbally, I want to take, because I realize we got this topic like in between military topics, so I might as well push it up.
Oh, is it going to push it up?
All hell Simone Biles, man.
Yeah.
I want, this woman is an inspiration and she has an amazing story. And to me, what's like so dope about it is this a story of right now. Like it's a story that's so relevant for the times like that we live in right now. Now, when she went down in the Tokyo Games and she said she wasn't going to compete and with the twisties and all that stuff, me and Damon talked about it. You know, we talked about what it meant. We talked about at that time she was already being called the GOAT at that time. You know, after that she came back and she did everything she did to compete and all the, you know, before she did do like a tour and she did a bunch of other stuff before then. She got married, like live life, right? But after that, yeah, to some of the listeners, I know y'all know about the whole interview that Jonathan Owens did where he said he was the prize and all that. I ain't about to get into that, but I just don't want y'all to think I don't know about that. I don't want y'all to think I ain't up on that. I know about that. And Simone got mad at y'all and said, stop talking about her relationship and her
comments. She said, leave her and her man alone.
Yep. And
I'm here for it.
Yeah, and what they do is what they do. But back to Simone. So she comes back, she competes at the highest levels, you know what I mean? And then she goes back to the Olympics. And right now, as we speak, she at 2 golds all around and for group 2 gold medals already, right? So the reason why I'm so like astounded by this is because she did the epitome of like taking that mental health break and then coming back better than you were before you left. And it kind of proves to like everybody that like wants to like perform at peak levels that like if you have to take some time out to take care of yourself, do it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Do it. She just made a post that said mental health matters. And I like, man, I don't know. It's just an inspiring story, Tish.
Yeah. Yeah. That's straight up true. Like so many people feel like if they stop, you know, they're going to lose something.
Yeah.
Or they're going to miss out on something. But that's the furthest thing from the truth. It's like you really don't lose and miss out on anything. Like, because you gain it all back because you come back. As long as you come back, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You come back with that full momentum. Your head is clear. Because the thing is, like, when your mental health isn't there, you think you doing all this stuff and that you working hard and like you doing it, but you really not operating at your full potential because of your mental health. You think you are, but you really not. You really kind of like running in quicksand type deal.
Yeah.
So taking that break, that's crucial.
Yeah,
that's crucial.
And you know, we came from the era where like our sports heroes were throwing up blood, coughing up blood, I mean, and shooting free throws on like Kobe Bryant going out with a sign of greatness in sports for us was Kobe Bryant limping out there on one leg, shooting them free throws. Like, you're like, yeah, yo, it don't matter how much pain he in, like you know, so I think it's really good right now for this generation to see, and our generation too, the older people who only saw that to see what Simone Biles just did. Like,
right.
I think it's very vital. You know, it's a great message and a great story. And then just watching her, like just watching what she does, that's a whole nother story. Like, I don't see how she could get up that high off the floor like that on the floor routine. It's almost like she get up, then she get up again. Like it's like a boost in the air. Like almost, I don't know how she could do this. Like it's incredible. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Really
She only
is.
4'8", 108 pounds or something like that. You know, so she's tiny, you know, and but her athleticism that's where she kind of wins out at. Like, it ain't grace. It's like just pure force and like athleticism, speed. And she's just better than everybody else, you know?
Yeah.
Not more graceful. You know, it's people out there that's super graceful, you know, Suni Lee, Jordan Child. It's people out there that do different stuff, but she just, man, yo. So definitely big shout out to her. And that story is great, right? All right.
Yeah.
It's DEOCS season, y'all. It's DEOCS season. Best time of the year. It's that time of the year where 35% of the command. It's the time of the year where on
you
average.
complain all year and still don't do the damn DEOCS survey.
It's the time of the year you've been complaining all year. Everybody think this. Everybody feel like this. And then 35% of us is going to jump on that computer and do that survey, right? That's where we are. And the NAV admin just came out, 15224. Take a look at it. Not going to go over it. It's pretty much an announcement of its DEOCS season, right? Maybe, I think like August 1st to November 30th, I want to say. See, I ain't even want to even go that far because now that might have to get fact checked. You know what I mean?
I know, right?
But I think...
But every command kind of does it they started when they started within that time frame. So,
yeah,
you know, just look out, check your emails. For those of you that don't check your emails, don't go to quarters.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout for that DEOCS survey.
Yeah, it's coming up. It's coming up, and it's the season. And then they gave out the kind of the timeline. Oh yeah, so November 30th. So must start no earlier than August 1st and conclude by November 30th. Yeah. So got that right. You know what I mean?
Right.
Get that
listen,
right. But
listen, they'll be on you.
Yeah, but definitely.
Our listeners.
It's also the virtual CEO suggestion box. They talk about and they talk about the DOCP survey. So read that, check that out. Not gonna get into none of that, but it's a DEOCS season, y'all. So and do the survey. People always every time we put something out about the survey, nah, that's cat. Y'all lying. It ain't anonymous. You know, then I sit there, somebody said that to me like live in the flesh. And I don't know if it's anonymous. I started breaking down like what they thought. They like, yeah, well, I'm the only such and such at the command. So how can it be anonymous if they know demographics? I'm like, no, they gonna loop you into this group, and you know,
right?
And like, there's okay, and then they try to, well, you know, it's like, hey, it is what it is. Definitely do y'all, you know, do the survey, get it done. You got anything else on that? I don't think ain't nothing.
No,
really talk about.
No, just do the survey. Just do it.
Yeah. SELRES, fiscal year 25 SELRES CPO results are out. You know, it's funny, like, so they got the signs up, you know, congrats on making chief, you know. Some of the active duty sellers, they don't really pay attention to SELRES stuff.
SELRES,
so they like looking at the signs like, they ain't announced the chiefs yet. Like, what's going on? Like, it ain't chief season yet. Hey, it's for the SELRES. It's for the SELRES. It's for the SELRES.
We got love for SELRES too.
We definitely love SELRES folk for sure, 100%.
Yeah.
And shout out to Ann Guyman. Hey, so congrats to all y'all. Shout out to Ann Guyman, who was on our podcast, one of my favorite episodes of our pod. I believe one day we'll get her back on and have some kind of conversation. Then the story about her came up on another one of our episodes. So shout out to her. Just appreciate her story, her journey, and what she did in that journey and the blueprint she laid for the future of, I think, DOD as a whole, I believe. Maybe it's just, no, matter of fact, it's the Navy, right? So for the future of that. So she hit us up, and I'm gonna get into what she hit us up about in a second. But the active duty quotas are out too, Tish. Somebody hit me up at EM. I ain't gonna say no names. He listened to the pod. Shout out to you. He was like, I don't know this time, seeing these numbers don't. Oh. You know, he like, yo, these numbers don't look like what I wanted them to look like. I'm like, but you did your thing last year. You did your thing, you know? So hold on to that. You know, I can't guarantee. So then we started talking about something else. I was like, yeah. He was like, yeah, but I don't got this. I was like, nah, but I was like, yeah, you don't have it. Yeah. Yeah. I was like, but I was like,
you got him next year, player.
You did your thing. You did your thing, and you didn't have opportunity to get it. That'd be the thing sometimes when it comes to these boards, if you got the opportunity or not. So you know who you are. Shout out to you. You did great, man. You did great. Continue to do great things. And I'm rooting for you. You know, I hope that I see your name on that list this year. As well as there's quite a few of y'all. Damn near everybody going to be chiefs in a minute that I know, though. And it's going to be crazy.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, damn near everybody about to be chief. All right, so let's get into Ann's question. She said a lot of stuff. She kind of shouted us out, gave us some love, showed us some love. Hey, Ann, we do got Tish now. So it's three of us now. You know, when she was on with us, it was just me and Damon at the time. Mm-hmm. But we did add Tish, and she been with us, rocking with us now for a little bit. So we all can't wait to, talk to you again if ever we do get a chance. So, but she did show us a lot of love. Said she listened to us before she goes. So she a reservist. So she listened to us before she go drill to get herself back in the mind of the military, which is astounding to me that we putting people in the mind of being in the military. I would think they go to like Jocko or something, you know what I mean? Like, it's 4 a.m. Wake up and crush it. I think they talk hey, no smoke, Jocko.
I know. That's the smoke you don't want.
The David Goggins and Jocko, them Navy SEAL smoke, man. The boys motivated. But so her question is this. What do we wish we would have done differently during our season? Right? I think I should start by reading Damon's question first, since he's not here. And then I'm going to shut up and then hear what you say, and then I got it. I'm almost thinking all of our answers might be close, but I'm going to read Damon's answer first. So Damon said, hey, y'all, I had to fight Damon to answer this question too, man. Just being real. Tisha laughing because it's true, y'all. But Damon, he underway. I don't think he felt like typing. I don't think he felt like typing that much into the group chat. That's really what it was at the time.
I don't think he didn't want to answer. I think he just, Yeah,
we could have just, waited till he got back. But this Ann, and I want to answer Ann as soon as she hit us up. So Damon said this. He said, things that I wish I would have done different. Live in the moment of the season. You got selected for a reason. Damon hit us with the poem, yo. Then he said, act like I belong in the room. Last thing, dive into why you got selected. Not a cookie cutter answer to that. You probably going to find out that it was not about you and more about everyone around you. Up and down the COC. Smile and keep a good altitude. Have fun. So I think he meant attitude. I'm going to blame autocorrect. Hey, I'm just fucking with David. And David don't listen to the episode, so he'll never hear that.
He was probably that Mississippi accent trying to talk to Siri.
Yeah. Keep a good attitude. And also, he said, act like I belong in a room. So and he said, have fun with 3 exclamation marks. So have fun with 3 exclamation marks. So that's what Damon had to say about the season. What about you, Tish? You remember the question, right?
Yeah. What do I wish I had done differently? I'm a timid person sometimes. And when I went through season, I was with mostly people that I didn't know because I did mine with a different command. Because I was the only one that made it. I was at a small command, and so I was the only one that made it. So we did ours with Naval Base San Diego. I ain't know nobody. I ain't know none of the other select. I didn't know the Chiefs mess. And so I had to really kind of get to know them. And it is on top of everything else that I was, trying to go through season and everything. And it get to know everybody, I'm like, man, I'm just trying to live. I'm just trying to survive day by day.
Yeah.
Although I was social, I wish I was a lot more social with getting to, I knew my group that I went through season with really well. But the other, the genuine, as we call it, I was very timid around them. And I didn't act like for the most part, I would say close to the end, but I really didn't act like I didn't own the room. I was just I don't know y'all people. They were yelling all over the place. I had the snotty nose the whole time. But there were moments that I really did have fun and I embraced it. And when I did start to like transition into that, I think that that's when things like I really started to open my eyes.
Yeah.
When I started to like really like start to have fun and we started doing pranks and stuff like that. And just really getting to know them. And so like going to their houses to building stuff, you know what I'm saying? It was like, okay, these are some really cool people, you know what I'm saying? And I still keep in contact through social media for the most part. Still keep in contact with both people who I went through season with and some of the genuines that were there. So that was cool.
I got a lot of respect for like the people I went through season with and the genuines. I'm gonna be straight. Like I ain't really keeping in contact with most of them. There's too many people in this world to keep in contact with. Like just period. Like,
yeah, that's why I say social media.
Like Facebook.
If I like your post and say congrats, happy birthday, that's me keeping in contact.
Yeah, I hit you with that crying emoji. If I hit you with the crying emoji, it means I care. If I smile. It's 100 birthdays now every day on Facebook. I don't know if it's because I'm getting old. It's 100 people who got a birthday, and I got to get rid of the emojis when I say happy birthday to dudes. And then, it's just too much going on. Or the little picture, the little thing of you. Like, you can't send that to a dude, like a thing of you, like, hey, like the little cartoon character. You can't send that to no guy. Like, don't nobody want to see you doing that.
I never even thought about that.
And that's like it's automatically selected. So I got to unselect it because I be getting the pre-selected happy birthday joints now, and it's already written, the AI joints. Yeah. But I got to get rid of the emojis when I send it to the fellas. The fellas ain't trying to see no emoji and all that. But back to the question. I would say this: it's not a competition, right? The season is not the Hunger Games. You are not going to win it. You know what I mean? You're not going to win the season. So embrace your team. That's who you have, and contribute to your team. That's one thing. And then the second thing I have is embrace yourself, right? And whatever you are, whoever you are, just be unapologetically you, right? I could point out, and I don't get too deep in the season stuff, but I could point out it was one time where we had to like display our talents. And it's funny, I chose to talk, right? Like I wanted to talk and be funny and shit like that, which I thought was a talent of mine. I thought I could talk, right? Unfortunately, I got booed, and then they said, come back. They said, come back and do something else. So I came back and I rapped. Like I rapped to them.
I was about to say, like, I thought that would have been what you did.
Yeah. So when I came back, I rapped. I did a verse. It's funny when we got like a broad range of listeners. So like if like a certain group, I'd be like, yeah, I would have been like, y'all spit a 16, you know what I mean? Like, but like we got a certain group. So I performed a rap verse, you know what I mean? Like,
16 bars.
I'll be changing that. Yeah. I orchestrated 16 lyrical bars, you know what I mean? But so I did a verse for them, and they was like, yo, you should have done that first. Like you should have done that first. Be you, right? So that's a big part. Just be you. That's who you give. Yeah. That's who you are. Stepping into the mesh. You're you. Don't be nobody different. Yeah. And the last part of it, outside of I ain't gonna say that part. But outside of the part, that I'm not gonna say, I agree with Damon as far as I wish that I would have lived more in the moment. And as serious as it is, and as serious as it feels, I wish I would have taken it a little less serious. Now, not as unserious as my man Deontay did. You know what I mean? Shout out to Deontay. Love you, bro. Not as unserious as Deontay. Deontay like, whoa, look, I'm going to be selected anyway. Like, this don't matter. Like, so not as unserious as Deontay, but like, as like where I lived. And they said it every day. Like, hey, you only get one season. They say it like during the season. And I'm telling y'all, during the season, the Chiefs say things every single day that's 100% true. It's not mind game stuff. It's not, and like you don't take it, like you don't receive it. Yeah. I did that like every season that I've been a part of. Like the last season I ran, I'm saying things to the selects every single day. And I'm like, yo, what, you just don't believe me? And no matter how much you say it, They just think you're playing the game. Yeah, you told us that, and it totally fucked us up. Like, was it really Monday? Yeah, it was Monday. Today is Tuesday. Yesterday was Monday. I told you it was Monday. We like, well, maybe he meant it was Sunday for real. It's like, no, it's fucking Monday. Like, get out. Like, stop taking everything like we playing games with you. So definitely like enjoy it. And you're a performer. I know that. You're a hard worker. I know that. You're a pioneer. You know that. You know who you are already. Be yourself, but enjoy it. And remember, you got a team. You have a team the whole way through. But have fun, man. That's the biggest part. I wish I would have had more fun.
Yeah. And you know what? What you said about being yourself unapologetically, that's both the good and the bad. Like, that's the time to expose your flaws.
Yeah.
That's the time to be corrected before you get out there and do something stupid. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, do it in that setting where, you probably gonna get yelled at. You know, you might get tossed. Yeah. But I would rather it be then, like, let me find out, that ain't good. That I need to work on this flaw that I have before I actually go and put on them khakis. Because once you put them khakis on, everybody looking at you like it's game time. Like, you can't, there is no like, I just made cheap. Like, don't nobody care about that.
Yep.
Don't nobody care about the fact that it's your first year.
and for y'all that's either about to be up for it, my active duty ones or the SELRES who got selected, y'all probably noticed that almost every single person that made it and been through a season says something like similar about the season, that they wish they, would have had fun and everything we saying, right? It's probably because it's true.
It's true.
Right?
It's very true.
It's true, y'all. So, like, take heed of that, man, and understand it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I said, it's not the Hunger Games.
Right.
It's not the Hunger Games.
Right. And it's nothing like it, because none of the other services and within the Navy, none of the other ranks, do that. So it's like, it's an experience. And that's something I hope, I pray to God that if I ever get Alzheimer's, that I always forget that. I mean, I always remember that. Mm-hmm. I think that's something that's like ingrained in me, like the good and the bad, honestly. It was such an experience.
Yeah, you don't forget. Damn, fuck it. I'm going to say it. You don't forget things like that. I don't think with Alzheimer's, you just forget like your kids, like people who you
like, I don't want to forget my fucking kids.
It's like, it's me, Mom. Like,
like, nah, I don't know who you are, but. No.
Due to the fallacious nature.
Oh my God.
You're like, hey, it's me, Mom. All right. Hey, much love to everybody out there that's done with all of that stuff. You know what I mean? Sometimes we gotta say jokes though. We gotta say jokes. Much love to everybody out there though. Sure. Damn, I had a hell of a segue, but I'm gonna leave my segue alone. Microsoft had an outage, right? So it was last week, right? This is some of the stuff we missed. We're gonna breeze through some of this stuff. It was an outage with the security program that Microsoft kind of works with that keeps security running into their professional systems and stuff like that. And it affected a lot of people. Just so happened that this day I wasn't at work, right? I was at a retirement ceremony, right? So I know that when I started reaching out to people at work, I know they probably was like, the audacity of this dude, wondering how we're doing. You know what I mean? Because I definitely I'm hitting. So before the ceremony, I go to grab some breakfast. I'm in the DC hood, Tish. Like, I'm up in DC. I'm in the hood of DC, right? I ain't gonna say where I was at.
I know you got some good breakfast.
I ain't gonna say where I was at because people from DC probably gonna be like, nah, that ain't the hood of DC.
That ain't.
You just too bougie. But I'm grabbing breakfast and I reach out to, I start reaching out to people on command, like, hey, y'all computers cool? Like, I heard Microsoft down. And most of our stuff is Microsoft. I'm not going to give no response to that, though, because I don't know if that's giving intel. So I'm going to shut up about what the answers were, right? But a lot like trains, planes, healthcare, banking systems, hospitals. Like a lot of shit was affected by this, man. Like my wife was able to leave work early, which was fire. We did one of them strolls on the wharf that day. A friend of mine, she always get me on the worst days though, where I'm like, yeah, like I'm gonna eat these chicken and waffles, but then I'm gonna go run like 8 miles. And then, you know, at the time I'm about to run, hey, I got off early. What you got going on? I was about to run 8 miles because I ate chicken and waffles, but what's up? Let's go to Gordon Ramsay. Yeah, so it happened. I don't have much on it, but is that a bad thing that we lost that much to that? Like, is Microsoft?
Yeah.
Microsoft got a stronghold on our businesses.
Yeah, they really do. I might need to start investing in Microsoft because they make the world go around.
I invest in Microsoft. You gotta invest in Microsoft. That's a standard investment.
I think at one point I did, but then I had cashed out all my stuff because I got mad. So I need to hop back on there.
Yeah,
I need to hop back on there. I had Tesla and everything, and I was like, all this bullshit.
Was your job affected at all?
Not my office, but the organization overall. Yeah, there were some, like I got back to work. Well, actually, I saw like text messages, you know, how you had that, like, what do we call it? Ad hoc messages type deals. I saw those and I came back to work, like, because some people got the blue screen of death.
Yeah.
I came back to work like, my screen gonna be blue? Like,
you was hoping it was blue?
That thing was ready.
Yeah, you was hoping too. Like, yo, I'm trying to work, but I got the blue screen. I'm trying. Oh no, we got some extra ones that work in that room. Like, damn.
Listen, I got a desktop and a laptop. I was hoping both of them gonna be down. Nope. They were both up and running.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wasn't really affected by it, but like watching the news, I was like, dang, because it was like people who travel. I saw the one video where the guy was like, all the trips are canceled. We can't do anything. And this one girl started yelling at him, like, you couldn't have said that before I got here. He was like, this conversation is over. And he walked behind the wall.
Yeah,
I'm like, man, they really not trying to deal with all the craziness. Like, it was people going to weddings.
Yeah, it's bad, yo. It was bad.
Yeah, they can't get no refund. Yeah. And then like the wedding party, like you got to pay by the plate. And depending on like how you know fancy your wedding is, you could be paying $80, $90 per plate.
Yeah. Yeah.
For a lot of people to not show up. So that's,
Yeah, I feel like that
the residual effects of it is crazy.
Yeah, I felt a little exposed by that, honestly. Like I felt like too much. I felt like too much went down from that. Like in my opinion, like too much is too much there. Like, I don't know. That could be a do better.
And you know, when I was reading about it, I also saw these other articles about like cyber type attacks like within the world. And I'm like, you know, we talking about going to war soon. Like, it might look a little different.
Yeah.
It might. It's probably going to look a little different than, you know.
Oh, it's definitely going to be.
How they fight. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be a lot with the cyber stuff. A whole lot. A whole lot. Actually ran into the cyber robotics tech, that robotics tech. I ran into him when I was in Millington, I want to say. We exchanged numbers. I was supposed to get him on a pod, but you know, just life start catching up. But now that we got the niece, we should be able to get
slide a name on over, right?
Yeah, we should be able to get you, dog. If you listen to the pod, we got the niece now, man. She saved us, man.
Yeah.
She saved us.
She did. She did.
So
saved us from ourselves.
I did have a random topic in here. I don't know how it got into this part here. I should have moved it, I guess. But it's about me. I need to start getting back to saying no. It was a time when I told y'all that I embraced saying no. But the other day when I was out at that restaurant and the dudes paid for my food, a lady came in there and she like whispered in my ear. She was like, you know, I had 3 husbands. You know, they passed away in the military. All of them, they died in service in uniform. And I was like, oh, okay. You know, and then she started telling me the stories and stuff. And And then right before I left, she's like, all right, now come give me a kiss on the cheek. You know what I mean? And COVID, taking all that stuff into consideration, I did it. I kissed her on the cheek. I kissed the sweet lady on the cheek.
Oh no!
So that wasn't the worst time that I didn't say no, because I should have told her no. That wasn't the worst time I didn't say no. This time is the worst time I didn't say no. So I'm in the bathroom, in the head, right? Not gonna get into specifics, you know what I mean? But I was in the stall, I wasn't at the urinal, you know what I mean? And one of the Melwood dudes was in there cleaning, you know what I mean? And normally I don't get out of the stall when somebody clean. I let them finish and then I roll, you know? But I had something to do, you know? It was like real quick, get in here, knock it out, you know? So I get out the stall and the dude that it is, he my man. Like I say, we speak. He reaches his hand out to shake my hand. And I'm like, yo, do he know I'm just coming out, And I should have told him no. Like I should have been like, nah, let me wash my hands first, bro. You know what I mean? But I didn't. I dapped him up. Then I washed my hands. And then I thought, I'm like, yo, he should be better than this, man. Why are you going to shake my hand? Then I dapped him up. So I got to get back to saying no, y'all. That's pretty much that on that. Now let's get right into let's move right past that and talk about this SWO Department Head retention bonus that I didn't know much about. But I'm gonna read some of this because I think it's worthy of a read, right? It says, PERS 41 is accepting applications for the new Department Head Retention Bonus, DHRB, right? So slide the little H in there. It's a whole different thing, right?
Yeah, so, the H matters.
Yeah. For those eligible, DHRB will pay up to $150,000 for those officers. That's way more than that hardship money that we gonna talk about soon.
Listen,
the NAV admin is
you about to piss somebody off after reading this.
Yeah.
You might as well go smooth into that after.
Yeah, the NAV admin is under review and will establish the Surface Warfare Officer Department Retention Head Bonus, SWO DHRB, for eligible SWOs. This will replace NAV admin 04623, and all new contracts will be paid under the new payment scheme. DCNO memo dated 8 July 2024 provides authorization, right? So it's eligible for year group 12 and junior, qualified and serving as active duty SWO. That's 11-10, 11-17. Completed at least one DIVO tour or be assigned to a fleet up or single longer tour as approved by PERS 41. Administratively screened for Department Head afloat by the Surface Department Head Screening Board. Agree to complete 2 afloat Department Head tours or a single longer Department Head tour as assigned by PERS 41 and be C duty assignable as defined by BUMAD instruction. Speaking on C duty work and stuff like that, can y'all please remind us to cover the employee program about getting sellers I'm sorry to interrupt what we're talking about, right? To hold the topic hostage, but about getting sellers jobs before saying that they limdo. It's about getting sellers that's questionably could be limdo jobs doing their work, doing their specialty or doing some formidable work before we say they limdo. All right, so back. So that was the eligibility for the SWO Department Head Retention Bonus. So that's everything you need to do. Eligible. Then an application period, it says commences upon successful screening for SWO Department Head. Officers selected for Department Head must submit a contract prior to the convening of the next Department Head board in order to receive maximum compensation. Oblig-serve resulting from Department Head Retention Bonus will extend through YCS 11 anniversary in cases where completion of 2 Department Head tours or 1 single longer tour as assigned by PERS 41 extended beyond YCS 11, the officer may not be released until their PRD. Application process. All applications require written endorsements from applicant's commander or commanding officer. So y'all already know department heads, y'all gonna go ahead and write that up. Get the CO to sign it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Email the scanned copy of the signed original contract and CO's endorsement to your detailer. And then they have a request template. Preferred method for submission is to scan and email to us. Send the email to your DIVO detailer, not the first tour department head detailer. The detailers will ensure it is processed and will be able to view it in your record. So that's that. Department head retention bonus, $150,000.
Up to it, yeah.
Yeah, up to
That's
$150,000. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So we were enlisted. So we were not officers. So, but I'm sure, it's some officers that that's really care about that. That's super duper, invested in that. Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's like another thing with us is like, we never talk about the oceanographer of the Navy anymore, man, because we just don't know much about it. It seems important.
Right.
NAV admins come out about it, but we just don't know much about the oceanographer. But shout out to you. You know what I mean? But so that's that with the retention bonuses. So hey, good stuff, man. Department heads deserve it. Department heads deserve it.
Yeah,
they do.
For real.
They got to go through a lot. Now I know it's some JOs that's like, well, what, JOPA? I know they like, well, they put us through a lot. You know what I mean? It's everybody kind of put each other through a lot, but definitely department heads definitely deserve it.
Yeah.
So what you were talking about, I don't even know where that's at. Oh yeah, that's it. So this was old news. So we kind of back old and new. But since we did just bring that up, we might as well kind of get into this one real quick. Troops will start getting economic hardship bonuses this month. Thought that was a good way to start the story,
Yeah.
So it says the Pentagon says that it's finally ready to pay troops the economic hardship bonuses that Congress authorized last year to help offset rising prices and higher cost of living across the country. So y'all done waited a year to give us this shit, right? All right, we got it, y'all. You want to wait a year to give it to us. It says, but the sums troops will get seem unlikely to make a major impact, putting renewed attention on lawmakers to do more. A senior defense official told military.com in an interview Friday that troops in the most junior ranks, E1 and E3, will automatically see that bonus in their paycheck. I'm going to be straight. They not going to see it, y'all. It says we'll automatically see their bonuses in their paychecks this month and going through December. But on average, they'll be getting only $20 a month. They ain't about to see that.
They ain't gonna see that.
The monthly bonus amounts.
Nobody noticed.
The monthly bonus amounts on average will total approximately $120 over 6 months.
Over 6 months. Like, I hate the way they said $20 and then they try to make it bigger by but over 6 months is $120.
Yeah. Hey, we gonna give you a $120 bonus, right? We gonna stretch that out for 6 months. We gonna stretch
6 months. You gonna get $20. They playing.
That sound like
they are playing.
If y'all need help with managing that money, don't go to the CFS. Hit my mom up. My mom can show you how to make $120 stretch for 6 months. Mom Dukes.
Right.
Mom, I know you're mad at me from the way I started the episode. Mom, come on. Come show these people how to make that $20 stretch and pay period, man.
That's ramen. That's going to the galley. I remember those broke days.
Y'all better hit that King vitamin.
Right.
Y'all better hit that King. And now you could go to the galley in your civvies, right? So you could go to you could go hit the galley up in your civvies, which is you ain't got to do too much with that. That's an article too. Since Tish brought that up, we might as well just swing right there. It says going forward, sailors may wear most civilian clothes to shore galleys if the sailor is in a non-duty status, provided that the clothing is clean and does not contain offensive languages or pictures and aren't overly revealing, right? So the normal kind of look, dress decent, right? So CNIC, hey, CNIC, shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all. Sailors can now wear regular clothes when they eat in shore galleys. I think that's noteworthy because I was recently living in the barracks. And when I moved, when I went to eat at that, everybody, hey, for the listeners, if y'all don't know, and I think y'all do know, I'm kind of bougie. You know what I mean? I'm a little bougie. Yes, I like Popeyes. You know what I mean? I do like Popeyes, right? I don't know if Popeyes is bougie or not, but the strawberry biscuit with the cream on it is incredible. You know what I mean? But when I was on a ship, people would be like, yo, bro, you gotta try the base galley. I'm like, yo, this don't even sound right. Like, it sounds like you're telling me I gotta try Golden Corral or something, dog. This the base. This just the base galley, dog. Like, cut it out. You know what I mean? Like, I was in Norfolk. Dog, I'm telling you, man, they got good food. It's cheap. It's this. It's like, yo, I don't care if it's cheap. I don't care if it's cheap. I just don't want it to be Philippe Chow $99 crab leg. You know what I mean? So I go to the base galley, and I forgot how many rules they have at these places. Like, yo, I'm just coming here to grab breakfast real quick. Hey, yo,
right?
It's a line, dog. Like, all right, all right, it's a line. Yo, your sleeve. Your jacket? Yo, I don't know if you ever saw the Drewski video where he be the airport worker with her. Your jacket? You got to take that off, dog. All right? Your sleeves? Roll them up. You know, I was almost intimidated by the eggs. I'm like, well, it's already pre-cooked eggs. Do I have to eat these? I cannot order. You can order whatever kind of eggs you want. I get it, but can I order like eggs to order? Like an omelet? Or, you know, so I want to, it was just crazy, Tish. Like, it's so many rules in this damn galley. Like, I was intimidated. You know what I mean? So I wound up getting my food and going back. So I'm happy that at least this uniform rule, and that's if you're not in the duty status. So if you're not on duty that day or something like that, you could go ahead in your civilian clothes and you could grab, you could eat. So I think that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, all the more ways you can spend your $20.
You ate in the galley?
Yeah. My first duty station, I was in the barracks, and so I ate in the galley a lot.
For real?
Yeah, because it was like, I ain't had no car.
Yeah.
Yeah, either. And it was like walking distance. It was like right around the corner, because, they usually have the galley close to the barracks.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just used to swoop over there. Every Friday they had chicken wings. I used to eat chicken wings and fries every Friday. So I used to go eat breakfast. It was right beside the building that I worked in. So I used to have like a smorgasbord for breakfast in the morning, because I used to go to the galley or whatever.
Yeah,
it was too much.
Yeah, it's a lot of rules. Like
that little pay, that little pay you get, it's like, nah, I'm just gonna eat at the galley. But then you gotta deal with all the rules, so you gotta make sure, like, oh, let me put on my uniform, because like we would go out in town and do something, but then you gotta come back, change into your uniform to go to the galley. Yep. so that was just such a hassle. So that's really good. It's crazy that that's just now a thing.
Yeah, and it's like, I need you to talk to me nice if I gotta grab 2 boxes of this cereal to fill up the bowl. You know what I mean? Talk to me nice, dog. Talk to me nice, man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Start letting us take stuff out of there. Like, stop being only 2 items.
Oh yeah, they be gone. It'd be so many rules.
2 pieces of fruit only you can take out.
It'd be so many rules. They asking what command you at. like you know what I mean? Like, it was crazy. That's the joy. Like, I ain't a poor rate kind of person. That's a joy that almost make you poor rate. Like, yo, hold up, man. I've been in the Navy way too long to be getting put through this bullshit.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I wouldn't do that though. But yeah, so definitely I'm glad they did that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about some politics. The election is in November. Done. Politics over. That's it. No more politics. It is over. It's not. No, and politics, right? The presidential race is heating up. Biden dropped out. Kamala is in, and Trump is still on the path, right? So what I will say there, and I've softly said it, and I'm gonna softly say it again. I commend Joe Biden or the Democrat Party, whoever it is. I commend them on the decision for him to say he wasn't going to run again. I think that was a really, really good decision, and I'll talk more about it later in time. But I appreciated that decision. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
Then Kamala is coming out the gate with social media. Meg Thee Stallion, Quavo.
Quavo quotes.
I got some trash to talk and I'm not dissing Kamala. Like we ain't even about to have. We ain't about to get into that because I'm not doing that. I'm just saying what I see. I got some jokes to say, but I'm gonna hold off on them joints too. Her, like, it was a quick surge in support of her. And you could see the money, like you could see where it's going. Her social media campaign looks dope. She started a TikTok.
Yeah.
She got TikTok going on now.
Right.
It's crazy. The government like banned it, right? And, like presidential candidates scoping it up. Like, let me get on TikTok and connect with these people. It's pretty obvious who she's like. This one of those like kind of races where Trump speaks to a certain like group of people primarily, and then secondarily it's another group, right? It's a couple groups. Kamala is looking at a certain group of people, and I think primarily women is like her focus, right? When we fight, we win, and all of that, right? So I think she's going for women. So I think for both of them, right? Just to keep my conversation safe, I think for both of them, they're following like really good tactics. Speak to who you speak to, right?
Right.
I think that's why Drake lost to Kendrick. Again, whenever I talk about, I gotta juxtaposition Drake and Kendrick. I think that's what made Drake lose to Kendrick, because Kendrick spoke to who Kendrick had to speak to the whole time. And it seemed like Drake started getting into trying to speak to who Kendrick was speaking to, when it's like y'all bases are just not the same. Like it's no reason to move over to that side. So that's that.
Although Trump did try to speak to the other side.
Yeah, he went Trump went to the spot. He went up in there.
He went in there. He went in there.
Conversations were had. You know what I mean? Like, there's definitely.
It was hilarious.
I'm highly entertained. Like, I think I can say this. I've always been highly entertained by Donald Trump. Like I was telling Angeline, I'm like, man, when this race is over, like, where am I? Like, he just make me like the things he do and say.
Get the entertainment. Yeah, he just says he's a person that he's going to say whatever comes to his mind, like it or not. He was, he gonna say it.
He was like I knew her, but like. Not like that. like I knew her, but we ain't running the same circle. I knew of her, we ain't running the same circles back then. She was saying she was Indian. Now she's saying
now all of a sudden she black. That dude.
So he's like, what is it? Like, which one is it? Is she black? The lady was like, she's black. She's like,
the crazy thing is like, he is genuinely confused. Like, he does not understand.
That dude told Biden in this debate, man. He told President Biden in the debate, he's like, honestly, like the whole second half of that, what you said, I honestly didn't understand it. And I don't think you did either. I was like, this is it right here, man. This is it. But I don't want us to go too far there. But before we go even, any further, we talked about this last week, right? Last episode. We talked about this. And I believe Damon was reading from the ALNAV. And what I'm going to do right now is read from an email that I sent out to my command, breaking down all...
On the SCL stuff. I see you.
Yeah. Breaking down the ALNAV. And it's funny because this was ghosted by my JAG. So my JAG ghosted this email and I just sent it out. Like, that's new.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, that's new to me. I ain't never had nothing ghost. I ain't gonna...
Yeah.
Like, they gonna start calling me Drake.
Writer.
Yeah, they gonna start calling me Drake. Like, I ain't never had no ghostwriter. Like,
yeah.
And somebody, and like right after this, one of my sellers was like, Senior, your emails, man, they just be so detailed. Like, it's like I don't have no questions after reading your email. I'm like, thanks, man. Like,
you got a ghostwriter.
Like, yeah, this one, now. But now I've written some other ones too. So so it says ALNAV 06124, guidance on political activities of Department of the Navy personnel. I'm gonna try to breeze through this because it was a lot, but it says, in light of the upcoming election, this email and attached ALNAV serve as a reminder of guidance for engagement in political activities by active duty service members and DoD civilians. In summary, both active duty service members and DoD civilians face restrictions on engaging in political activities while on duty in the federal workplace or otherwise on federal official time. Please review the email, please review this below email to be aware of the restrictions based on your status/position, right? So active duty service members. It's DoD policy that active duty service members acting in their official capacity shall not engage in activities that associate DoD with any partisan political campaign, election candidate, cause, or issue. Examples of permitted and prohibited activities are listed along with specific guidance on social media use. Engagement in prohibited political activities may result in disciplinary and administrative measures, right? So permitted activities, this is what you can do, right? It's funny, like somebody's like, somebody probably like, who the fuck is he talking to? We know what permitted means. Like everybody that's listened to the pod know it. Hey guys, this is what's permitted. This is what we are able. This is what we can do, guys, for those that don't understand. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Everybody gets it. Registering to vote and expressing personal political opinions in your personal capacity, not in uniform and with no appearance of DoD endorsement, right? So that's kind of what we talked about last week. These views are not the views of the DoD and stuff like that, right? Encouraging others to participate in the political process, attending partisan and nonpartisan political fundraising activities, meetings, rallies, debates, conventions, or activities as a spectator when not in uniform and no inference or appearance of official sponsorship, approval, or endorsement can reasonably be drawn. Donating money to a political organization, party, or committee, signing a petition for a specific legislative action as a private citizen, displaying, now check this out, y'all. This is the funny part to me. Displaying one normal-sized political bumper sticker on your car, provided it is not associated with any supremacist or extremist organizations, right? So that's the things we could do. Here are some of the prohibited and read the ALNAV because there's much more. Here are some of the prohibited activities, right? Participating in partisan political fundraising activities, rallies, or conventions in or out of uniform. Participation is anything more than mere attendance, right? So you can't be on the front line with the bucket. You can't be doing all that. Publishing partisan political articles, letters, or endorsements that solicit votes. That's kind of where my fine line with social media come in, man, because I think it's a great area when it comes to publishing, but it is what it is. Speaking before a partisan political gathering or gathering that promotes a partisan political party, candidate, or cause. Participating in any radio, TV, or other program as an advocate for a partisan part, candidate, or cause. Displaying a partisan lawn sign on base housing, right? And then social media, right? So this is the big part. This is kind of what we talked about. Social media. Active duty service members may generally express their personal opinions about public issues or political candidates using social media. However, if you are reasonably identifiable as a service member on your social media page, you should include a disclaimer with any opinions expressed that your opinions are not endorsed by the DoD. Further, you can like or follow partisan accounts, but you may not post or repost links to partisan sites or forward invites or otherwise solicit participation in any partisan activity, right? So that's the disclaimer part. It says DoD civilians. And shout out to y'all. Shout out to our retired people that listen to the pod and stuff like that. DoD civilian employees are prohibited from soliciting, accepting, and receiving political contributions and from engaging in political activities while on duty or in a federal building. Aside from those restrictions, DoD civilians are generally allowed to engage in political activities, provided it is off-duty and no appearance of DoD endorsement can be inferred. For social media use, DoD civilians who express political opinions and can be reasonably identified as a DoD employee through their page should still use a disclaimer to note that opinions are those of the individual and not of the DoD. Social media use regarding political activities cannot be done while on duty, while using DoD resources, such as through official email or using an official computer in a federal building or while teleworking, including on personal devices. Keep in mind, these are main points, not an exhaustive summary. Please read it very respectfully. Very respectfully, command Senior Chief Damo McCullough. So that came from me to the command. So that's that. Hey, so just pay attention to that. Know what you're doing. Know what you're saying. Know what you're wearing. Know where you are. Know your audience. Know the venue. All of that stuff, and just take that stuff under consideration. I don't like.
And if you have questions, ask.
Yeah,
you got questions, ask.
I don't like thinking that much, Tish. So I just shut up. I don't like thinking that much.
Right, like, can I do this? But I can't do that.
I'm just not doing it.
Like, it's complicated for a reason.
Yeah. It was like when we went to Singapore and people was like, yeah, you can't spit, you can't sneeze without. I was like, all right, I'm just not doing shit here. Like, I'm walking with my hands straight like this and I'm gone. Right, I'm gonna go get what is it called? Lychee? Is it called lychee or leche?
Leche.
Leche is called leche.
It's leche.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get one, like a little margarita, like one of them joint martini, little leche joint.
Yeah, that little leche martini.
And I'm chilling.
I had one at the airport. That joint was
I'm chilling. Hey, and then for the listeners, look, man, we can't talk about everything on this podcast, right? So I know some people want us to figure out a way to add the Hawk Tour girl into an episode. It's no way, guys. It's no way. You know what I mean? We can't blend everything into military. Hey, when y'all gonna talk about the Hawk Tour? What y'all feel? How y'all feel about the Hawk Tour girl? I don't have any feeling about. I feel like
I don't even know what that is.
Want to be famous on social media. I feel like she don't even want to be famous, and y'all out here making this girl come out her house to continue to interview over some moment she had on a YouTube video. You know what I mean? I can't explain to you what it is on here, but when we get off the episode, if you really want to, you could just Google it. Like they trying to make this lady famous. I don't even think she did start selling merch, but I don't even think she want to be famous. But that's it, y'all. We can't. Yeah, y'all gonna talk about? Nah, we not gonna talk about that. Like it is what it is. We will talk about. We will. This ain't a real subject, y'all. But hey, Tish, you heard about the seller who searched for the president medical record? This boy said, "I am tired. Let me see what's going on. I'm tired of
I needs to know.
Let me see.
I need to know."
And I think they kept it. They said they didn't really say like what the punishment was or whatever. Like, I would think. Military, I don't think the person got into that much trouble. They probably just got their ass chewed. It's funny, like you go to their chief, like, hey, HMC, can you go talk to HM3? What'd he do? What is that? The SecNav called? Not even SecDef called.
I was about to say SecDef, probably.
SecDef called, Lloyd Austin. Yeah. He said he was trying to get into President Biden's medical records. Damn.
That's crazy.
You gotta go talk to your seller, man. So he probably just, hey, we ain't saying to do nothing, but just chew his ass real good. You know what I mean? Like, so you gotta chew him out. Because I don't think the seller should get into, should the seller get into that much trouble for doing that? Is that
for attempting?
Yeah, they didn't do it. So it's an attempt because I know you got HIPAA.
Right.
It's HIPAA. If they would have done it, it would have been HIPAA, and I'm sure they would have put that shit out there. I'm sure they would have. You ain't looking for it to keep it a secret. But you don't just go home to your wife like, hey.
He about to sell it to social media.
Like, hey, he's about to sell it to TMZ. I can't tell nobody about President Biden. Like, no, you putting that out there. But but they didn't do it. They tried to do it. So it's like, how much trouble? You were in Ellen. Like, how much trouble should somebody get for
you can get into a lot of trouble for attempting to do something. You know, it depends on how far he got, but the fact that they knew he was trying to do it and got a call, like, oh no, it might be pretty bad.
Yeah,
it might be, and it's the president. It's not like it's it ain't your chief. I'm
gonna find this out.
We talking about the president. He went hard.
He was ready to go right to Reddit.
Yes. No, he was going to TMZ.
He was going to Reddit.
Like, he was?
He's going to Reddit. He got a profile that don't got his picture on it, his name. He like fuckboy 2013 or something on that joint. It's a picture of a Pokemon character, and he about to push out.
That's crazy. Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you can get into a lot of trouble for even an attempt. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So especially for something like that, HIPAA is really big.
HIPAA. I was talking to an HM the other day because we was talking about beards, right? Because I was trying to get some ideas of, beards are always like a contingency thing, right? And he was like, hey, if anybody tell you, this is what he told me, he's an HM CM. If anybody tell you it's a HIPAA violation, tell they ass to spell HIPAA. Tell they ass to see what the acronym stand for. I bet you they can't do it. Is it 2 P's or is it 2 A's? He was like, I was like, I got you, bro. He was like, ain't no damn.
That's
HIPAA.
true though, because people do like throw out, oh, that's HIPAA. But some things are not HIPAA.
Yeah.
There's guidelines. And I've had one of those sailors before.
If the military tells you that it's if the beard thing got regulations, then you have to abide by those regulations. And if upholding those regulations mean that we need to ask you questions and see some shit, it ain't HIPAA, fam. It ain't HIPAA, dog. Do you gotta know really shade shit or not? You know what I mean?
That is not HIPAA. Let me see it.
This motherfucker trying to violate my HIPAA. Like, he asked me if I had a no shave check because I've been walking around with a beard. Like, can't do it. You know what I mean? I heard a very hard rumor on the Navy dark web about beards. That something is coming down the pipe, Tisha, about beards. And it sounds like good news. Hey,
what?
For the listeners, right? The ones that's top brass people or whoever you are, nobody told me anything. I don't know nothing. So if this sound like it's close to true, don't fault nobody. I don't know anything. I was on Facebook and I was in somebody's comments and somebody said something to somebody and somebody else responded. And I said, oh shit. It looked like we might be getting good news about beards. I don't know nothing else, And I know y'all.
It's all from Facebook.
Yeah. And y'all,
comment section. So just know.
And y'all got to respect that because it's some other exclusive news that came out about something that I know about. But y'all said only triads until it's time to put it out. So we got the information before the people so that we can know what we talking about when they ask us. Because a lot of people talk about that too. Like when these nav admins come, a lot of triads complain like, hey, when these nav admins come out, how come we don't get a forward conversation so we can know how to respond to our sellers? Well, something like that just happened. And look at me, y'all. I ain't say nothing about it. So y'all gotta understand, like the bear thing didn't come from nobody, but if it is gonna be something good, y'all, yo, I'm waiting on it. Let me know. We gonna be the first ones. I'm gonna be the first one. I had that beard back. Hey, change the command photo. Change.
Right.
I'm hitting up the PAO. Hey, I know you got me on we got you already seen you on the. You got to take that one off of the website. I got a beard now.
You got another one.
They got to know who I am when they come, man. Don't look the same. Be getting a new ID.
That's a huge win for the fellas. Y'all been asking for that for a long time. I take
mine right to pass an ID, Tish, get the new ID. Hey,
you get the ID card.
You just got an ID when you got here, see it? Gotta get the new one.
I need
the beard.
With the beard.
Gotta Hey, on a somber note, we got another rest in peace. Another story that we missed, because we missed last episode, Sonya Massey. So rest well to Sonya Massey. I don't know how deep we gonna dive into this story, because we got a lot more to talk about. We already close to 2 hours, but I want to say rest in peace to her, and I'm gonna kind of shut up for a second, Tish, because I know you probably was affected by this. I did have an issue with the cop, right? So Candace Owens said some wild shit like she normally does, right? But my argument, I'm not getting into race, right? That's just not like what I choose to do on this platform or whatever. Intention though, and like who people are as people. Everything that cop said, like right before and after he shot this lady, kind of showed me who I want to believe him to be as a man. You know what I mean? And I use those, every word I said super wisely. From him, you know, saying, and that, like he said something like, I hate to even quote it, but I think he said something like, that bitch was crazy. Like he said a bunch of shit, you know, to me that was just super distasteful after you shot. Like, so let's say I'm a cop, right? And this is where I'm saying, let's say I'm a cop and I have to shoot somebody because shit went awry. I had to shoot her, right? I didn't want to. I don't want to shoot the person. So I'm not going to be talking like how he was talking after he fucking shot her. He shot her like she was like it was like smoke, like beef in the street, like she was a op. You know, well, the way he was talking after he shot her was as if she was a op. If I had to shoot somebody, first off, you know, I would be a little devastated. Like, damn.
Right.
You know, like, fuck, man. I had to shoot this person. I would be caring about the person. Even when he walked out, he was in front of all them cops. They all looked kind of uncomfortable. Like, what's up with this dude? You know? So for me, the aftermath of it, you know, that was you know, we could get deep into the story and all that, but my issue was how he responded to all that. Like, I just did not feel like this was a person that cared even before he shot her by the way he acted after he shot her. So that was my issue, Tish.
Right. Yeah. And I think you're spot on with it because I was actually listening to he worked for another police department. I forget the name of it. He was fired from there for disobeying orders. He was pretty much like a hothead and they didn't trust him. He was lying in reports and they kind of gave a warning to the police department. I think that he's at now or that he was at, whatever, about his behavior. And so it's not even like seeing all of that after the fact. It's not even surprising. Like, that's exactly who he is.
Yeah.
It's exactly who he had no remorse. He felt nothing. I've seen body cam footage of officers when they have to shoot someone and they have to kill someone and they are devastated. I saw one where he was like beaten on the back of the police car because he was so upset that he had to do it.
Yeah.
And other officers had to like come console him. Like, that's a human being. You know what I'm saying? This guy, he just showed none of that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And
none of that.
Yeah, and it's coming out that she had mental health. She was going through like you know, some mental health issues, you know, and that, you know, that adds a lot to the conversation as well. But one of the things that's coming out is that her mom supposedly called the police station the day before and said all of that and said, hey, can you bring some, I don't know if she said general cops. And I know a cop might think, I don't know the wording, so I'm not going to say it. But basically, can you bring some people here with some discernment that's able to think and make like sound decisions? You know what I mean?
Right.
Because my daughter is going through a mental health break, right? So it's just, so at first my thought process was like, damn, it hurts to know that like you could call a police officer to your home for help and still be murdered. But now it hurts me more. And we knew then that it was a mental health thing then from the very beginning that, you know, she was going through something. But now, like what I say now, and it's like to know that somebody is going through something and they are having a mental health breakdown or something like that, a mental health episode, or, you know, I don't know the wording, so forgive me if I'm saying something wrong, people. But to know that, damn, like if the wrong person shows up, that they're going to die. Like these are people that we should be taking care of, getting to help, getting things that they need. If the wrong person show up, they're going to die. You know? And I work with MAs. And my first response, I went to go talk to the cops. I'm like, hey, what's y'all? When the video first came out, I ain't watch it all. I said it. I said, hey, I didn't watch this all, but I saw cops come to help a lady. Then I saw her getting killed. And I'm like, did any of y'all see this? And I kind of got like their opinions, on what they thought. Some people watched it and then came back and talked to me and stuff like that. But it's super interesting. And I don't think this lady should have died. So may she rest well, and may whatever justice that needs to be kind of executed be executed. You know what I mean?
Right.
However that looks, sounds, and feels. And prayers to her family. And I know they fighting a lot. And then you got to go through that, right? So now you got to be fighting.
Right.
And, I heard the family, I don't know if this is true, but I heard the family didn't even know it was a cop that killed her until the news reported it. You know what I mean? But I don't know if that's true. But if that's true, that's sad as hell. You know what I mean?
I heard a video of like the 911 where the 911 operator was saying like, oh, now they're saying that it was self-inflicted. Like they were like still there or something. And I guess she's like talking to people and she's like, yeah, now they're saying it's self-inflicted. So it was like, where'd that come from? You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of a lot of gray areas, a lot of weird stuff going on there.
Yeah.
So yeah, rest in peace to her.
Yeah, rest well. Hey, real quick, I think me and Damon might have covered this, or it was another scammer, another military scammer. I don't know. It could have been, so many scammers.
So many scammers.
Yeah. U.S. Army worker who stole nearly $109 million to buy mansions and luxury cars is sentenced. She said, "Y'all could keep that $20 a month. I'm taking matters. I'm taking matters into my own hands." Texas woman who pleaded guilty to charges of stealing nearly $109 million from a youth development program for children of military families and using it to fund extravagant lifestyle that included multiple mansions, a fleet of luxury cars, and designer accessories was sentenced Tuesday to 15 years in federal prison.
Taken from the baby.
Taken from the babies, man.
Taken from the baby.
The young kids, man. And I just went to a play I went to the Robin Hood play last Friday at the CYP on my base. It was cute, But they was telling me they need stronger Wi-Fi, and it's people like that. It's people like that,
Right. They couldn't get stronger Wi-Fi because she took the grant money.
Yeah, buying Bugattis and shit.
She took the grant money and bought, $923,000 worth of jewelry.
She woke up in the new crazy. Bugatti, man. Her husband got a Walker in. Her husband got
he don't spend some of it.
Yeah, he got a privately Walker in. He probably talked her into it. So you saying you just saw 50 grand just come across and you could have easily swiped it into your account? He probably the one who kind of worked her up into it, man.
He probably did.
If you didn't, bro, I'm sorry. We just making up shit on this podcast. Bro. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
He said he gonna stick beside her though because he reaped the benefits of it. He knew what she was doing. He know the Navy ain't paying that much money.
Yeah, and I think she was a civilian who worked for the Army, I think.
Oh yeah, the Army, yeah.
Yeah, and I think she was just a civilian, right? Like a federal employee. Yeah. So.
Yep.
And she handled the money. How do you? I wonder how do you take 109
She was getting federal funds, like grant type stuff, and instead of the money going to these programs, they went out.
They said she bought.
They went to the Bugatti.
They said 80 vehicles, more than 8. She must have been flipping them joints.
She probably.
Somebody said her lawyer said she realizes that she committed a crime. She realizes that. I realize. Yeah. Yep, I realize it. Yeah. And it says she did wrong and is very ashamed. Like I said, it don't look funny till it look funny. 80 high-end jewelry, real estate, a Maserati, Mercedes, a 54 Corvette, Ferrari, motorcycle. Damn, yo.
Oh, so she got a fake organization and then she would apply for grants through the military program. And so she did like 40 applications over 6 years and received $109 million for this fake business.
And they asking her, one of her friends asked her to allow her to repay her debt to society by returning what she taken, but not be behind bars. She gotta go.
She
gotta go, yo.
She gotta go.
Yeah, she gotta go.
Sister girl gonna be behind bars.
Yep, she be back in 15 years. She gotta go.
She would do no harm to anyone. You don't think that that's harming somebody?
Yeah, take from the kid. Yeah, it's crazy.
Right. Like, you don't think that that's harming? The federal government is broke.
Yeah.
We are broke. Yeah. We can only pay the sailors $20.
Yeah, I can tell y'all. I can tell y'all, CNIC needs some more money. Let's have some conversations. It's buildings that's Ben should have got fucking demo.
Yeah.
They just up on base. It's just there.
Right. And especially in the Army.
Yeah. Like we can't afford
Army bases are all old.
We can't afford to break some shit, Tish. Like we can't afford to knock some shit down. That's when you ain't got no money. You can't afford to knock some bullshit down. Like this lady, meanwhile, Mercedes and all that. Let's be serious.
Right.
Speaking of money, Newport News Shipyard. So it says the Navy issued HII's Newport News Shipbuilding a $78 million contract. It's funny because that's still less than that lady swiped, right? A $78 million contract modification for quality of life improvements that includes building a facility for sailors who are working on aircraft carriers undergoing that midlife refueling overhaul, according to Naval Sea Systems Command. The funds are for a carrier refueling overhaul work center that sailors and civilians working on the refueling and complex overhaul can use while in a yard at Newport News, NAVC wrote in the post to LinkedIn. Approximately 80,000 square feet, dedicated space near the ship, office spaces for sailors, shipbuilding and shipbuilders, as well as a fitness center, counseling offices and other areas sailors can utilize while executing RCOH. Good news. Really good. Like really good. I'm trying to find the claps, but I should have had them ready. So they're going to come late, y'all. They're going to come at some point in time. The claps are going to come. But that's really good news. I appreciate that, especially, there we go. There they are. With the claps. The claps. That's good news because I just came out of a ship that was in the yards. In them yards, they could definitely deal with like some overhauls, man. I honestly think it could be healthier food options out there. And whenever we add a healthy food option, sometime it's like a damn house salad in one of them little plastic containers with the salad dressing inside the container too. And that's it. Like, ain't nobody really going for that house salad.
Right.
You know what I mean? With the little ham pieces in it. Like, come on, y'all. Let's do a little bit better. But not even to talk about the food. I think that a lot of shipyards need that. And I guess they talking about more like a building that would serve as what the barge did for us when we were in the yards. Well, I think the ship that I was on is still in the yards. But the barge was nice. It was a nice barge. You know what I mean? It was cool. It got real hot in them heads, man. But it was cool. It wasn't too bad. And people moved over there, started doing stuff over there. But I think this is always a good idea. I think this is always a good idea. And I know Damon's question was, is it going to happen in San Diego too? That was Damon's question.
Oh, that was mine.
Oh, that was yours?
That was me, yeah. I'm like, is that about to be San Diego? Because we have like a Liberty Center on 32nd Street and it'd be packed. Like, it's time for a new one. Because it's definitely like you just see sailors all over the place. There's not enough computers. There's a Starbucks in there. There's a restaurant in there. You got some MWR stuff or whatever. But I think that they could benefit having a bigger building. So go ahead and with that 109 million that we swiping from old girl. I know that's Army, but hey, let's get some of that over here. You know what I'm saying?
Does anybody from West Coast ever talk about like making parking garages, like high-rise parking garages?
All the time. The issue, from what I understand, is the infrastructure of the base. Like, they got to make sure that if they put a parking structure on there, that the damn base ain't gonna cave into the Pacific Ocean.
For real?
Yeah.
Because that's the worst parking I've ever experienced in the Navy is 32nd Street.
Right. Yeah. It's atrocious.
So you gotta show up to work at like 5 o'clock to be able to have to walk. Like like if you only want to walk a half a mile, you gotta show up at like 5 o'clock. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And if you live in the barracks, you can't even drive over to that side of the base during certain hours, during like regular work hours or something like that. Like there's hours where you can't drive over and they'll turn you around.
Yeah, and them barracks people.
If you live in the barracks.
Yeah, and they probably be mad at that, but they used to get on my damn nerves. Like, you live right there, man.
You live right there, right. Right. Go ahead and walk across that bridge.
Yeah, run a lap.
Walk across that bridge. But yeah, like at my command, at one of my previous commands, we had a lot of pregnant sailors. And it was like, hey, y'all had to come here early. Like we had one stork parking. Meanwhile, ATG was like right next door. ATG got all the fucking parking spots. And they mostly be like gone, underway.
It'd be empty.
Yeah. ATG, y'all asses. And they go out there and they paint their own parking spots from what I understood.
Oh, for real?
When I was there, they'll go out there, they'll just start painting because like everybody had their set number or whatever. But somebody was like, yeah, ATG just be going out there painting. They get a stencil and they out there just painting ATG. Cause like, who's gonna question it?
I used to work at LCS. And I used to park in those spots. I used to park in those spots.
The ATG one?
It was spots. I don't know what it was. I parked in the spot.
But you parked in the spot.
Yeah. I mean, most of them didn't have writing on it. I tried my best. But when I was in, because it was right in that same area, illegal was right there. I used to go right in them spots, man. I probably dealt with you at legal before, Tish. When I'm thinking about it, when I was on base, you probably one of the people that ain't helped me out when I wanted to. I wanted to do what is called a power of attorney. You probably one of the people that, in order to do it, you gotta get back out of here and get over in that line. Y'all just like the base galley over that. Take your jacket off.
That wouldn't be.
Y'all that waiting line in that legal building for them power of attorney, that don't look like the DMV. That don't look like the DMV.
It was. Like people used to be handing that thing out like popcorn. Like people would come in like and they needed like I need 5 power of attorneys. Like, and then we got the kiosk machines too. A little bit before I left, they got the kiosk machine where you can go to the machine and it'll spit out your document and then you can just come get it notarized, or you could do it online and then just come in to get it notarized.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was crazy. It used to be a long ass line.
Yeah. Let's shout out. I want to shout out. Who do I want? Oh, let's shout out this Marine Corporal real quick. I think you read the story or you saw the story, but it says Marine Corporal earns prestigious medal for saving the military $140 million.
Yes.
Right.
So his name is Colonel Damo Burleson.
Damon Burrows.
And he, no, that's the commanding officer. Wait a minute, hold on.
Corporal Gage.
Gage, I'm up one line up. Gage Barbieri.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yeah. 21 years old. Got a meritorious service medal.
Yeah.
He is at 2nd Marine Division Headquarters Battalion. And so pretty much like he grew up working on cars and stuff and just like fixing things. And so he took that innovation that he had as a kid, brought that into the Marine Corps, brought that value into the Marine Corps. And like he would sit there and like look at how they did things in tech mans and figure out what was wrong with it. And so and I'm trying to find it in here. So he had a background in mechanical engineering. And let me see.
He was while you looking, he was an E4. He was an E4, y'all. For the young sellers, this dude's an E4. And what he did is major. I know as Tisha's kind of breezing through this, y'all gonna hear the story. This dude, major work from this dude as an E4, y'all. So if you got talent, if you have a gift, if you already have abilities and knowledge of something, do not suppress it.
Right.
Because you think you too low in rank. Because he didn't. Now what was you looking for, Tish?
Yeah, I'm still trying to find it. But so
like that's the reason why.
Right. That's why you got it in
that's
the order.
Reason I started talking. It. No, I started talking so you could find what you was looking for.
I know.
You shouldn't have been listening to me no more.
I found some of it. So, because I like the story. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, he's just, said, oh, it wasn't like a coincidental type thing. Like he was very intentional about his work is what I want to kind of lay out. And so he was 6 months working into the unit. There was a problem that everybody had been trying to fix, couldn't do it. Trying to replace a hose that ran from the vehicle's engine bay to the back end.
Yeah.
I don't know much about cars, but I guess it's difficult. It only took him 2 weeks to figure it out.
Damn.
So that kind of what sparked his leaders to be like, okay. And so then they started tasking him with more repairs. Ones that other people couldn't do, And so he ended up repairing 75 trucks, keeping the battalion readiness above 90%, right?
Damn.
So then once they took notice, they started putting him in the room like for big, making big decisions with big wigs, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they selected him to spend months working on Oshkosh tech writing team.
Yeah.
On the tech man for the Joint Light Tactical Vehicles.
Mm-hmm. And
so he went in there and, that's where he kind of discovered that the way that they had the tech man written, that, let me see, installing the replacement part. This is what he told them, like after looking at the tech man for replacing the steering column. He said installing a replacement part that way would have stopped the steering wheel from moving, and it could create a rollover. Like,
yeah,
that, and we talking about combat here. Like that's like a big deal, and so that's how he ended up getting this award. So. Like Damo said,
he like the Rain Man of he's the Rain Man of the Marine, like the beautiful mind of the Marine. It says his engineering acumen would save more than 900,000 hours of maintenance production time and more than 140 million throughout the entire life cycle of the platform, right? The platform that you were just talking about. So that's what they calculate. It used to be a time where people like this just got promoted to like some type of, like back in the day. People used to get, I said day twice, y'all, because it means it's a long time ago. But they used to be like, yo, let's just make this dude the officer. Like, let's just make this person this. He seems like he graduated at 16. He studied mechanical engineering. He joined the Marines. But he seems like he should just be in a higher position of like some form of training or authority already at this point.
Yes,
like he just,
absolutely. Like I feel like the award is cool, the Meritorious Service Medal, like that's cool and all. But I just hope that there's something coming after that, because that just, he could better be served. He could better serve in a different position where
he getting out. He getting out.
What?
Yeah,
he got an offer.
Yeah, it say he set the lead a corps in June. Next step is college, University of Central Florida in Orlando, where he gonna study mechanical engineering. Yeah, he hopes to become a tech writer who writes manuals for himself. Yeah, he probably is like, yo, man, these people, like, I'm getting up out of here.
Yeah,
these people not. Like, let me go.
But that's the thing. You get like when you get in the room with those people, a lot of them are civilians.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So they probably was like, yo. You want a better life? Yeah. We'll send you to school. You got your GI Bill. Yeah. You can go to school. You come back. You got a guaranteed job. This is how much you gonna make. My man was like, I'm out. They giving me this medal, and that's it. Yo, I'm about to be over here.
That's what happened to that. That's what happened to the vice CNO, the last vice CNO dude.
Oh yeah,
civilian company told him, hey, come on, leave that alone. We gonna leave that alone, guys. Leave that alone. Hey, but yeah, shout out to him, man. That's really good stuff, and yeah, go on and get out and. Really stimulate your mind and do something that challenges you.
Yeah, for sure. And he maybe he'll want to come back as an officer. Who knows?
Yeah. Do you remember?
But yeah, the moral of the story is, like you said, like, don't limit yourself. Even no matter how junior you are, if you got a skill, you good at something, you know, let your light shine.
Yeah, you might be thinking you smarter than your entire chain of command. You might be.
You might be.
You might be. They all might be stupid. Like you might, you know,
be, for real.
Just go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to get at was, hey, so you go through boot camp, right? You go through the struggle of boot camp, this threat of getting kicked back from battle stations and all this shit, right? So then at the end of battle stations, you ceremoniously get the Navy ball cap, and you're so happy because you're not a recruit anymore, right? So you proudly wear this Navy ball cap for what? How long are you still in school after boot camp? Maybe about like at the least a couple weeks, then at the most, depending on your A school, maybe a couple months or something like that. So and you're super proud. Like, this is the crowning achievement of your naval career, is getting this Navy ball cap. Just to go to a ship, and the first day you get there, people are like, oh, look at this bitch with this fucking Navy ball cap. Look at you. You suck. Like, who are you? Like, you know, the part of shit. Like, I always like, when I think back, I just think that's funny. Like, how we used to treat people for having Navy ball caps, knowing that this was, and I think that's the beginning of like your despair with being in the military. It's like this thing you worked so hard for now is like just a piece of shit when you go to a ship. Like,
right. Like, dang, I thought this was great.
I cried when I got this. Like, I shed real tears when I got this job. Like, I showed my family. Like, take that off.
Knocking it off. Like, get that out of here.
I just thought that was funny. I have not embraced the word sir. Right? That's just another random topic. A lot of people, like, so I work with a bunch of civilians and they all call me sir. I think civilians think sir is what you call anybody in the military because of like movies where people was at boot camp and they sir type stuff. And I love the civilians I work with, but man, that word sir just, you know, I'm just like, it just feels so funny when I hear it, man. You know, I feel like I'm in disguise a little bit. Like, yo, I'm not an officer.
Yeah.
I'm not an officer.
Right.
You know, I'm enlisted. Yes, but that's it though. Maybe I'm
tripping. Is weird.
Yeah. People just call me sir, and I'm just like, you know, and you know, I'm in the military, and I'm like, dang man, like I wish they just called me chief, you know. But not a bad thing. Who am I? That's a first world. You know, that's a first world problem. You know, I was telling my mom. She said my nephew used her towel, her face towel. She was like, he dried off with my face towel from washing. I was like, Mom, that's a first world problem, man. Like, you know, just grab another towel, man.
Just grab another one.
Yeah, my mom gonna hate me after this episode. Love you, Mom.
Yeah, because you getting her ass.
Yeah, I love you, Mom. I love you. All right, I got a screenshot to read from TikTok, and I got a rebuttal for this dude, right? So on TikTok, I like this an old thing I just recently this is from back in February, but I recently discovered it. We were talking about something, and I was saying that on a carrier I was on at the time, the majority of shit was getting off at like 13, 14, right? And this person said, they said air depth or engineering. To be specific, they said air depth, right? So like DEPTH. And I questioned it when I read it. Like, what the hell are they talking about? Maybe it's autocorrect, right? That's what I thought in my head. And I said, the whole entire ship, but we are engineers, meaning that the majority of my ship was getting out of work by like 1400. And this is what somebody said to me. Coin addiction therapy. This is this person's name. They said, I call bullshit on that. No way that happens. Hey, coin addiction therapy. That happens. There are people on ships that's getting off. There are ships where the majority of the crew is leaving that bitch about 1400. I know you want to think that, I don't know if this person is being sarcastic or not, so I'm going to take a little sauce off my response real quick. But I know people want to have this general thought that like, it's just so hard and hours are so late and it just sucks so bad. That's not true in every case. That's not true at every command. That's not true at every ship. It's just not always true. Stop thinking that your experience is everybody else's. You know, that's it for that, for me. Leave it alone. All right, Tish, we got some stuff from listeners. Tish got somewhere to go today, y'all, so I'm trying to get through. We got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I'm going ziplining with the boys.
Are you ziplining?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Okay, Tish.
Yeah. I'm in there like swim. I've done ziplining before.
Okay.
In Mexico.
Okay. All right. So this is what the person said. It says, so I've been through multiple episodes. Thank you. In episode 98, around 2:15 in the episode, you guys were talking about fitness culture. I believe and have been struggling with the idea behind the PRT. I believe it should be either 4 quarters of BCAs or change up the PRT to be more realistic of what us sellers go through, like a short timed 100-meter swim, deadlift, bench press, a 80-pound sandbag carry for 50 yards. Love you, this Black Coyote 19 too, on Instagram. Love you, fam. But the swim joint, I don't go through that
I
too
immediately
much.
was like,
yeah, I saw
ooh.
your face. I don't go through the swim too much. You know what I mean? I see what you're getting
It would be helpful.
I see what you're getting at, but we need remedial.
Right.
We need remedial.
Again.
We need remedial first before we could PRT that joint. Like, I'll be scared as hell. Hey, you're not just going to hit this real short. It's going to be timed 100 meters.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So
I don't know about that.
He says, I would love for you three to bring the subject back up. We might have to make this a long topic. I don't know. He said, I myself have seen a lieutenant commander in a flight suit that absolutely had to be XXL. And that flight suit alone was holding on for dear life. Not trying to be funny, just being honest. But the BCA itself will tell you about the health of a sailor. Now, if we turn Command PT check into a digital section to check in and sailor fails BCA, and when they look back and say, how often is this sailor PTing? And if it's 3 days a week for the past 3 months, then it falls back on the seller for eating habits because we can't control what a person eats. So I think he talked about like an app. He said, but if we can control how often a person works out, then that's different. What I do feel like might be missing from the topic is how squadron commands treat PT and do the operation tempo and flight hours. I'm be straight is missing from the topic because none of us work that squadron. Because that's normally what happens with us. If we don't have that experience, we just can't talk about it. So that's why we like to get people on with it. It says, and maintenance also all come into play for that too. We talk about squadron commands. But I do feel like when you have to check in for PT digitally, leaving a record, it will hold the commands more accountable, in my opinion. So basically, like if we all got like a shared app and we share our PT, I think that's cool as fuck, honestly. Like, add it, Black Coyote 19, let me know if we tracking what it is you're talking about. But I think if all of us had like a shared kind of app, if the Navy pay for watches for us all to have, and we all kind of plug our PT thing with the CFL and they could track that. I do like that idea. I think it's way more for this time than trying to get people to do command PT, honestly. Like that shit is dying to me. He said, by the way, I love everything y'all do. This literally needs to be a mandatory listen. Well, thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. And to all the people that say that things, I don't think it'll ever happen, but he said, because y'all bring the reality of things happening in the Navy, and I honestly feel like being in for 14 years, junior sellers aren't looking for a political explanation of everything. They want the raw truth given to them for better understanding, right? So what do you think about like having like a PT watch type thing? You think that's pretty cool?
I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
To like that, to hold people more accountable and tracking. Kind of like with you and Damon, how y'all watch each other on the Apple Watch or whatever. And y'all kind of hold each other accountable, and it's like a competition type of thing almost.
Yeah. And the CFL would see, and you could tell somebody like, yo, you're not working out. Yeah, you're not. That's why you failed your BCA.
Right.
It don't got nothing to do with your LLD that you just got this week. It's because you haven't been working out.
You haven't been working out. Yep.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So I think that now the whole swim thing, we talk about that.
Yeah.
The other physical part of like the deadlift, bench press, stuff like that.
Oh no, I'm cool.
I see where he's going with that, because it's like that's more so.
Life.
Yes.
Combat scenario shit.
Yes, exactly. If some shit go down, that's going to be a better judge of if we can do what we can do. And a lot of people who do struggle with their weight, they say, well, I can do everything else. Like, I'm fit, I'm in shape. And so, hey, if you can do that right there, because like, I ain't seen not one push-up, sit-up being done when some shit pop off on a ship.
Yeah, they like, yo, they attacking us, they bombing us. Everybody get into your GQ stations and let's do 10 sets at 30. Like,
right. So something more realistic, like, yeah.
It's gonna be different anyway, though. I mean, like you said earlier, it's gonna be different. Like anyway, like the PT test is like, hey, sit at this computer, operate this drone. Let's see how long you can keep your neck up in the air operating this drone. Like your real world is starting to be a sliding scale anyway, period.
Yeah.
And like as robotics and things improve, war is going to change. Like these people just be, we seen it like recently with Ukraine and all that. Like these people just be like bombing people with drones, man. Like it's like, outside of like the hand-to-hand. Like when a Russia-Ukraine first, and it's just me from my ignorant eyes, when Russia-Ukraine first started, I saw a lot of like boots on ground, like a lot of that type of fighting. Then it looked like people was like, no, fuck that. Let's go get drones. We ain't about to go. Like that's what I saw with my eyes. And I'm not 100% up to date on all that, but that's what I saw. All right.
Yeah.
Let's get into do better.
Yeah.
The first thing, well, no, I ain't gonna do that first. I'm gonna do my do better first. It's the Instacart driver. I'm not gonna say your name because I don't know it. And I know some of y'all like hood as hell. And I don't want those kind of problems. And I feel like you know where I live. But you never brought the formula to the house. You never bought it. I don't think you took a picture of the formula outside the house. Or if you did, you picked it up right after you took the picture. But we never got the baby formula. I know times is hard. But that baby formula was $87. That's $87.
Sheesh.
And luckily, I'm married to Angeline because I wouldn't have got the money. People be thinking I'm lying. Like I wouldn't have done whatever it take to get the money back. The 12 minutes that it take, I wouldn't have did that with my life. Luckily, my wife is that kind of person, and she got that money back. But you know what I'm saying? Like we needed that formula. We got a baby. My baby almost 8 months. She's a young baby. She needs her fucking formula, and she could tell you herself. You know what I mean? And you don't want to hear it from her. So it's better that you're hearing it from me. But you need to do better with your life, man. Don't be doing that. Don't be doing that to people stealing formula from their kids.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That ain't cool. That's it, Tish. That's my
crazy.
do better.
All right. My do better is the VA. So I was trying to get an appointment and I called. So they close at 3 and then I called at like 2:30. And as I got closer and closer to 3, I realized that they probably said somewhere around 2:30, we ain't answering the phones no more.
Oh, yeah.
And they just let it ring.
Go down to one register. Go down to 2 tables in the front. Shut most of the doors. Put the chairs on the tables.
Right. It was some corpsman sitting there at that front appointment line, chilling.
Yeah.
And just looking at me ring and looking at it ding and just said, nope, not today.
Yeah.
And so then I called again the next day and I got somebody on the phone. So, that lets me further know that my, what I think happened the day before is what happened. So there might do better. If you close at 3, please continue to answer the phone. Like, don't clock out 30 minutes before, please.
You got to have that customer courtesy, Tish. That customer courtesy, you need to get to the place 45 minutes before they close. Or call the place 45 minutes. People be so mad when you get there 8 minutes. That the Angeline that type. My wife that type. She'll get there at, they close at like, on the hour, she get there at the 58. Like they about to be full-fledged doing the thing. Like, yo, I don't think that Coach don't want to cut up no more Butterfingers tonight. Like, I think they done doing that. Like, what I mean? They be mad as hell too. Yo, let me get the pick your own adventure. Like, let me get the yellow cake.
Like, no, we already put half this shit up.
All we got is vanilla. And take your jacket off and stand on that side of the line.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man.
I'm telling you.
Shout out to the VA. Shout out to the VA. My homegirl.
Yeah.
After we do the episode, we got smoke for y'all. But till I get it wrong.
Until then,
I don't want no shit.
All right, I'm gonna hold my smoke. I think they owe me money too, by the way. VA. I think they owe me money because they added my other dependent, my son, my oldest, because only one was on there. And so they added him finally. But then where my back pay at? Where's my back pay? I need that extra $100 a month.
I don't even want to get in the back pay.
I need my back pay. And then when I went to go look for the number yesterday, it said I had no dependent. So I'm like, oh, hold up. But my check was still right. So I ain't really too pressed, but I do want my back pay.
I don't even want to get in the back pay, yo. Because I just got my
transfer.
Bonus. I got my bonus, my command bonus. And it was like $350, right? And by CPPA, he was like, I was like, damn, okay, $350. He's like, oh, yeah, no, they must have gave you back pay. I was like, this is some bullshit, man. This ain't enough money. This ain't enough money, man. $350 with back pay is wild. I didn't see back pay. $5,000, $350 with back pay is nasty to me, man. You know what I mean? All right, let's
they give you $75 a day a month.
Yeah, that's worse than them $20 a month.
Right.
The vibe, John. They down there making now. All right, look. For Do Better, right? Listeners, social media, wherever you are, we got a call to arms for Do Better. We want to hear your Do Betters from now on. So you could submit them either like under here, right? So I'm saying that because I think I'm going to make this a reel. If I don't make this a reel, then it's stupid as hell. And like, damn, why didn't I make it real? But leave it right under here or put it under the episode post that we post when we drop the episode. Or email us at ptsfpodcast@gmail.com. Comment, do whatever. But from now on, you can send us a direct message. It don't matter. From now on, we want to hear your Do Betters, right? Shout out again to Denise, because that was an idea of Denise's. So shout out to Denise. And I've been waiting to be able to introduce that. So we always want you to do betters. That's what we want to talk about on these episodes, right? And shout out to Pink Pearl Girls on Instagram, who even before we put this out, she got to do better for us, right? So she says, do better. If a seller is required to have a top secret clearance at their gain in command, the detailer should be allowed to cut those orders as soon as possible. It should be a priority because the top secret clearance process takes anywhere from 9 to 12 months, and you cannot start the process until you have actual orders. It totally defeats the purpose if you find the orders 6 months before the report date. Now we have sellers get to the command and not be able to do the job. PERS is showing that the billet is filled, but the command is actually suffering. I could feel that.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I could feel that.
I remember my first duty station, I had to get a top secret clearance. And I don't think I actually got it until, did I get it during that command or was it my next command? I don't remember. Damn. It took a long time though. I had an interim clearance for forever. And my life is the most boring life ever. So I don't understand why. I think they were like backlogged or something. But yeah, like when a sailor comes there, if they don't have that interim clearance and you just starting from scratch. Yeah. And it takes so long, like, yeah, that they can't come in to, they can't have access. And it's like, it's a waste.
Trying to come and assess. Hey, yo, no, you can't work in such yet, man. Like, yo, that's my job.
Right. Like, no, not yet.
Yeah.
You can't do nothing yet, player.
Just go.
So yeah, that's a good one.
We got people taking long lunches. Yo, hey, just take a long lunch, man. Matter of fact, you can lead a ship. Go to the base galley, man. Put your civilian clothes on.
Right.
Make sure you don't got a jacket on. Yeah. Hey, I just know the pain of getting somewhere and not being able to do your job. Right. I know the pain because it's the same thing. Nowhere near the same. I never had a top secret clearance, so I can't relate. But like a lot of the things you need access for as a CMC and command, you know, it takes a while to get out. Yeah, it's some seasoned dudes in the game that nope, take me a half a day. I don't even need to turn them. you know, they the OGs in it. But like people like me, I'm like, damn, what else do I need? You know what I mean? I'm still messing up SAR forms. You forgot to put your email on that. It's gonna get turned back. Damn, man. You know, I'm SAR formed out. Somebody, my N6 asked me the other day. He's like, hey, whatever happened to that SAR form? I was like, I just needed a break from SAR forms, man. I needed a SAR form break. Hey, this is the last topic. I know Tish we still got good time though, huh, Tish? But this is the last topic.
We still.
And it's the book of the week. And Tish is reading this book. How far are you in on this book?
I'm still on chapter 2.
All right. So Tish reading this book. So I'm going to do this book review without giving any details for this book. If we do this book review again when Tish finished the book, I think it's going to be fire. And I can't wait to do it again. If Damon read the book and he do a review, I'm going to be a part of that review again. You know what I mean? But this book is Anchored in Resilience by Amari Ponciano. The name might sound familiar because he was on this episode before. He's an ITCM, and we interviewed him on an episode called The One About 12 October 2000, right? On that episode, we focused on the USS Cole attacks because he was a junior sailor when they were bombed off the coast of Yemen. So that's who Amari Ponciano is. And thanks to Denise, again, we got him slated for an episode coming up. So we will talk to Amari again about this book. All right. Hey, Amari, what up, bro? Love you, bro. I'm going to give an honest review of this book, right? Because that's the only way that I could do it, right? So let me start off by saying that I get a book 5 stars. That's my bias rating, right? So my bias rating on a book is 5 stars. I loved it. It was fun. It was funny. It was easy to get through. Took me 2 days, but I got 40-minute drives, and then between driving and going to the gym, took me 2 days to get through this book. When he become a teenager and like he get past puberty, this book just zooms right through. Even from the beginning of the book, it was fire, super funny. Can't get into any specifics till Tish finished the book, and then even more specifics when he finishes the book. But like I said, 5 stars. This is my favorite book of the year so far. I loved it. I can relate to it. It's great. He talked about his life, his upcoming from the DR to Navy life, what he started focusing on in the latter years of his career, his personal life. And that's the journey that I'm not going to get into till Tish read it because it's crazy, it's fire, it's funny. A lot of, I would say, sex, love, and rock and roll. You know what I mean? But it's a dope book, man. I felt like it was like a novella. I was glued to it the whole time. Now, if I want to give it and that's all the, again, like I said, I got to teeter around it because I can't get specific. Now, if I'm being unbiased, so my bias is 5 out of 5. Unbiased, this is my favorite book of the year, right? That's me being unbiased. But now if I'm being unbiased in my book review, I'm going to give it a 4 to a 4.5, right? So I love the book, right? But if I have to critique it, right? If I had to critique it, this is what I'm going to say. And I'm going to give it some disclaimers on this. The first disclaimer is Amari is not an author, right? He wrote a book about his life. My other disclaimer is audiobooks and hard copy books. They probably have different feelings to them for certain pieces of context in a book, right? So I did the audiobook. I bought the hard copy book and I bought the audiobook and I bought the digital book on Apple Books. So I bought this book. Well, I had a token for the audiobook. So, but I acquired this book 3 different times to support the homie, right? And I had to buy the book on Apple because it got to count the books I read this year, right? But I got the audiobook on Audible. He didn't read the book. And y'all, if you listen to my episode about reading and books, y'all know how I feel about when the person who wrote the book didn't read it. But so when I say he's not an author, I also say I'm not sure if he had a writing partner on this or not. But it's a moment in this book. And again, this, like I said, this is my one critique. I got 2 of them. it's a moment in this book where everything comes together, right? And I don't even, like I said, since he's not a writer, I don't even know if he thought about this when he was writing it, because this is his life that he wrote. You know, this all he was doing was putting his memoirs together. But it's a moment in this book where everything comes together. And I feel like if he would have had a writing partner with like some poetic writing or any kind of writing experience, they could have seamed it like even more magically than it came out, right? If I could say that, right? They could have put it, it's a crazy moment where all his life kind of comes together. And I feel like it could have been more intentional, right? But that doesn't happen without like somebody like, yo, nah, let's do this with this. Because outside of that, I'm telling you, yo, I hope that's not a deterrent. The book Fire is his life. He wrote it how he wrote it as an ITCM who's in the Navy, who did 25 years or whatever like that, and who had this experience. So that's that. Now, if he had, I'm going to say it again one more time. Now, if he had somebody that's used to writing or whatever, they could have took all this shit and like that peak moment, that man, like
would have turned it up. 1
to 2 sentences in that paragraph would have, you know, just added the ice into an already amazing cake, right? Another part of this book that just, it wasn't for me, was he read out like a thesis, dissertation that he wrote about like some incentive. It was IT stuff. It was like this incentive that he came up with, or like some equipment, some tech stuff that he wrote, and he inserted it into the book, like he added into the book. Now, if I was reading this book paperback, I would probably just skip that, like, and not read that, because I'm an EM and my brain ain't that. It's not as advanced to understand like a lot of the technical stuff that he was talking about. But I listened to the audiobook of it, and that part of it just didn't, you know what I'm saying? I love him.
Lost you.
Yeah. I wasn't able to understand. It got real specific about whatever it was that he was talking about. And I'm sure somebody in that field would be like, oh shit. But me, I'm not in that field. So I ain't really know. But outside of that, man, that book was he even gave his speech that he does at like, I ain't gonna say nothing. That book was fire. I'm gonna let you read it though. That book was fire.
Okay.
Really, like I said, my favorite book of the year. I'm pulling them critiques out my ass, you know, just to have some stuff. And then my other one is, again, like I said, audiobooks. Amari got a great narrator for the audiobook. The person did a great job. He added expression. He did really good. He mispronounced Amari's name once, and I hated that. And then some other Navy stuff like forecastle and littoral and some Navy terms he just couldn't pronounce. And in our and even like some of our acronyms, you know, like it would be an acronym, but he would like say it. You know what I mean? Like if it's like DOD, it's like DOD or whatever. Like that's DOD, dog. You know? But and I'm using DOD as an example. It wasn't necessarily DOD. But the dude did good outside of just some of that Navy terms, and then some also like urban terminology. He didn't, you know, he just didn't understand or know. But outside of that, that book was fire. Amazing book, man. Loved it. We gonna get Amari on here, man. We gonna have some fun talk about this book, man. Boy, it was like
I can't wait to finish it.
International ladies, man, a mystery, man. I cannot wait. Yo, I can't wait till you finish this book, Tish, man.
Oh, yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, I got a long drive today for this ziplining thing. So
I don't know if you want to. You got with your sons with you?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's some adult themes in this joint. Like it's some adult themes in this one, Tish. You probably want to
maybe I'll put my I can put my earpods in.
Put the pod and then some adult thing. Hey, if you're in the Navy, get this book. Get this book. He does talk about the code. That was the thing. The big thing. I'm like, the code wasn't even the pinnacle of his story. You know, the code bombing, man, that ain't had, like, the code bombing is amazing. And, you know, it's an amazing story, amazing journey. It's a big topic. We kind of base battle stations off of that in the Navy. His life is more than that. It's more story than that. So, shout out to Amari Ponciano, man. Everybody should get this book, man. 5 out of 5. in my biased opinion, 4.5 in my unbiased opinion. I loved it. My favorite book that I read this year, man. I'm waiting on a sequel, dog. I'm waiting on a sequel. You know, did he get married? This happened? What's up? Talk to me, man. Yeah, but that's it, y'all. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this episode because I definitely did.
Yeah.
I definitely did. I miss Tish, y'all, so much, man. I wish y'all
I know. I miss the fam. I miss the fam.
Yeah, I miss Tish.
But yeah, I can't wait for all three of us to get back up again.
Yeah, Damon gotta get that mic right. Damon, I know you don't listen to the episodes, Damon, and if you do, you ain't make it to hour 2 and 37. You gotta get that mic right, dog. You know, we gonna have to tell you can't be on the episode, dog. If you get that, I'm gonna have to talk to Denise, man. Denise gonna have to give you that call, dog. Like, yo, take your jacket off. Take your jacket off.
Roll your sleeves
up, dog, and get behind the line. You know what I mean? All right, y'all, man. Love y'all. Thanks for joining us. Peace.
Bye.